And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another OSR tabletop live stream with myself, GM Bloodworth, and once again another impromptu live stream. I had probably about 40 minutes of notice that I would be able to run this tonight, and I was checking out to see what other live streams that I typically do on Friday night, and a lot of people are out at. Ernie Gygax Con. So they're out at the Egg Con, and wish them all the best of experience out there. I'm sure that they're getting tons and tons of gameplay involved in there, and you know, great social networking and all of that. And so, yeah, I envy you. I wish I could have been there as well, but have a great time. So I'm kind of solo tonight, unless anybody wants to join in, and that, of course, will be there. And let me shout out to my ear trumpet. Hey, how's it going? And good morning to you too, sir. And then we have Roger. Hey, Roger, how's it going? Roger, if you want to jump in, you're certainly welcome to. I was checking to see if you had your live stream going tonight, and I checked. Tonight would normally be a Groghards meeting, tonight. But like I said, some I know that Dan is at EGG, and I'm sure that others are as well. So again, good to see you guys, and as always, you are welcome. I will put the invite in pretty early on here. Ducato, same thing. You are welcome to jump on in. I'm going to be talking about world building because a lot of people have been talking about world building. And hey, Matt, how's it going? Good to see you. And Ducato, as always, good to see you as well. So world building is something that has been kind of like swirling around amongst a lot of the a lot of YouTubers out there, and particularly, like, I follow mostly the OSR and independent driven YouTubers out there. Although I'm sure that Professor Dungeon Master touches upon world building, quite a bit as well. And although I'm not saying that he's a 5e YouTuber, per se, but he certainly has a large audience there that must include a lot of people from 5e. But I'm focusing more on just the smaller worlds that many of us engage with. And when I say smaller worlds, I'm not talking about excluding things like Faerun or the Forgotten Realms in general, or even Greyhawk. Even though I do a lot of my gaming in the world of Greyhawk, and I am going to mention it as well. But talk about other settings as well that you might be using, or homebrew settings. And the question is, how do we get our players to feel like their characters are in a living, breathing world? Chubby Funster was doing some videos on world building as well. Yes, and like I said, I've been looking at everybody. I'm actually going to bring up one of his books that I am currently reading and getting into. So yeah, like I said, it's something that has been going around now for the last week or so, and everybody's been chiming in, and I've actually done a stream or a video of it as well. And yes, Aired is also in there too, that I will be mentioning, because that's one of I'm not actually currently running I'm running Castles and Crusades, but not in Aired. I'm running it in Greyhawk. So I'm kind of mixing and matching a few of those things together. But I have actually done Greenbrier in the Drakenfold. So yes, I have done that. So I am going to add Ducato in here. Hey, Ducato, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
See you. I was actually, I was looking through some of my figures there, and I'm waiting to see for when that monolith Kickstarter kicks off.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and then I saw that they had a Kickstarter. I missed it like about 2 years ago that they did Red Nails, and so I was like, oh, let me check out that and see what that set is looking like, and that has the dragon, which is it's sick looking dragon. Um, the Hyborian age dragon. Uh,
Oh yeah.
and it's basically just like um, it's basically like an ankylosaurus, but with sharp teeth. It's like
Oh,
and spines on its shell and stuff like that. So a pretty crazy looking thing. And then the crawler, which is a little bit less than what I would think it is. I always think of the crawler as being closer to like a Cthulhu-esque kind of, entity, almost like a Shoggoth or something like that. But they make it look like kind of like really a lizard with a long, almost fish-like tail on it, and just kind of weird, looking a lizard thing, but it has some of the other characters in there as well. I'm thinking of getting that. It runs about $90 or
oh
so.
nice.
Yeah, so it's not incredibly expensive, and it
Yeah,
does
that's not bad.
it does come with the scenario that you could run solo with the board game anyway. But it might be something I'll look into. But anyway, yeah, I still have to pick through and find the ones that I want to, leave with you at most likely at ShireCon. I'll pass them on to you and say, all right,
Yeah.
you paint these up for me. Let me know, what's involved with, that whole process, and then maybe you'll have them ready for me by the time we go to CNY. So it'll be like
Oh, for sure.
so you'll have 6 months to finish, to
Thank
finish.
God.
So anyway, so let's see. I slammed it all. I slammed it all of Foundry. Let's see. I did 267 NPCs within the village, 4 NPC enemies. Yeah, that's it's a lot, and that's one of the things I'm going to bring up is is starting small and building out. And that's one of the key tips that everybody says it. Everybody says,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
start small and build out," and you know, no matter how many times you hear it, it's a truth. It's like it's an axiom, right? It's a an unmitigated truth. It's like there's no way around that. You should always start small, even if, and I'm going to put this in the context of my current campaign that just launched. Um, I have my new campaign starting off in the city of Greyhawk, and the city of Greyhawk is a pretty, it's very lore rich, and it's a big setting piece, right? Especially since I'm going to do primarily an urban campaign, and yet they're starting off in in a guild hall, in a tavern, and then the first starting location that they're in, and a particular neighborhood where they might have more knowledge of that particular neighborhood, and yet the rest of the city is yes, it's known to them, but the rest of the city is not to the same level of knowledge that they have of their one particular neighborhood that they're starting off in. So you can have the sense of the grander world out there, and yet the players through their characters still have a very small view, and they're going to explore and experience the rest of that space, over time.
Yeah, I mean that's the way. Oh, that's the way to do it. I mean, if you try to, I've seen so many people like try to start campaigns and then they're just too big, too
Yeah.
too soon, and then it doesn't get anyway because they're overwhelmed. And I went through the same thing. I was just talking about this the other night on Roger's stream
Hmm.
because I use a homebrew setting, and I had the stupid idea that I was going to build the whole thing, and then launch the campaign. And the thing that saved me was I kept like throwing out snippets of what I was had in my head to my
Mhm.
players, and they kept after me. They were like, "Well, when are we going to start playing? When are we going to start playing?" And then finally they broke me down. I was like, "All right, we'll get started." And it was great because I had notes and stuff for like it was when we were playing 5e actually, and I had notes for the pillars of the tiers of play,
Right.
and then to go back at the end of that campaign and look at those notes is like some of that stuff never made it into that campaign. Some of it wound up in other campaigns. Like it wasn't even close. Like there's
Right.
the best thing I did was listen to them and not listen to me and just
Yeah.
start playing it.
That's, you know what, that's my first point. You know, my because I actually took notes for this, so not really notes. I put little bullet points that I wanted to hit, and my first one was listen to the players. You know,
Yeah.
listen to your players. Now, when I say listen to your players, I'm not talking about listening to them when it comes to the choice of the game that you're going to be running, or the, I mean, obviously if they're not going to play the game you're running, they're not going to show up. But I'm
Right.
talking about, you know listen to what they're kind of, in general looking for in the campaign, what they'd really like to see in the campaign,
Yep.
and then build your world off of that,
Yep.
and just that idea. And one thing, I mean, Shadow is in here, and Shadow had a big influence on my current campaign, in that, I listened to some of the things that he was really looking for, and I'm glad to have found the character class. Even though it wasn't initially for him, it was for another player that dropped out, and he was like, "Well, tell me a little bit about this character class," and it's the Arcane Thief, from Castles and Crusades, from the Adventurer's Backpack.
Right.
It's a truly unique um, class, because when you hear Arcane Thief, it is not an arcane trickster. You know what I'm saying? It is, and it's not a thief per se. It's literally somebody who steals the magic essence of
Yep.
others, of magical creatures, of other spellcasters. He or she literally steals their spells while they're in the midst of casting them, and can turn them back around. He can absorb, the magical energy of magical beasts and cure himself. So almost like and I know Shadow calls it, a, a magical, a magic vampire. Basically, it's like you're absorbing their magical ability and healing yourself from it as well, which is, a great way to describe it. And so I listened to a lot of what he was saying, even though that character class was, like I said, not designed for him, but it kind of fit what he was looking for. And prior to that, I was asking him to come into the campaign, and he was like, I don't want to play another thief, or I don't want to play a fighter, or I don't want to play a ranger, because he's done them and been there and done that. And I was trying to think of, well, what are some ways, like for my returning players that have been with me now for a little over 4 years, how am I going to make this campaign different?
Yep.
And how am I going to I know I have them in the chairs. Now, how do I make this a different experience for them? Because we've done half a dozen campaigns together across maybe 3 or 4 different game systems. And it's like, how do I make this feel fresh? Even though, once again, it's a fantasy RPG. Core is Castles and Crusades, which we've played before. It has things coming in from other game systems, so it's kind of a nice, it's a very different combination of game mechanics that I've never combined together. So it has a little bit of Shadow Dark, a little bit of OSC, a little bit of Adventures Dark and Deep, a little, a core of Castles and Crusades, and then a smattering of this and that thrown in there, just to kind of create what I think, will be a pretty a pretty great experience, and that's what I'm looking for. Is
Yeah,
experience.
I've tackled that before too. Like I had my original 5e campaign, which was the original campaign for my setting, and then I before that ended, I started another campaign with a few of my players, and that was, but I had to make it feel different. That was a big thing, so I did. Like it was like the original one was very like classic, like D&D style. Then the next one was actually verging on like gothic horror style, and it really like pushed that stuff, and they were into it, so it worked. And it was a lot more investigative. I mean, there was tons of combat too, but there was a lot of investigation in that campaign, and they were the type of players that really latched onto that. And yeah, just making those things different was enough to. And I'd ask them, and they were like, "Yeah, these two campaigns are very tonally very very different. Like
Right.
they because they played in both, so it was like it was a good feedback. But like you were saying earlier too about talking to your, listening to your players. I mean, in my last session before we started playing, I sat, we were sitting around the table, and I had my notebook out, and I said, "Okay, like what?" I asked them point blank. I was like, "What do you guys want to see?" Because I'm gonna try to wrap this campaign up by hopefully the end of next year. So that'll be 6 years of play.
Wow.
And so I got a list from all of them of the things that were important to their characters that they wanted to see, so that I can kind of go, in that direction, those directions.
Yeah. Hey, Roger, how's it going?
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
How's it going?
what's happening?
What's going on?
We're doing
Yeah.
an impromptu grognards. So
Ooh. I don't know if I'm old enough for that.
you're not old enough for that?
You might not be.
I don't know.
Well,
I gotta go.
Death
didn't know
Angel's is
Jeff
in it
was
too, and
coming.
I think he's probably younger than you, right? So,
No, he's older than me.
He is
older
older
than
than he
you.
looks. Oh, he's right there. Hey,
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
Doing good.
I didn't realize how old he was until somebody said on one of the streams, and I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be 54 and
Yeah.
next year.
Oh,
Catching up.
okay.
Yeah, you're an old man, Jeff.
I know. Well, you're the young kid on the block, aren't you?
Apparently, except when Matt's on, and then and then I'm like, I'm super old because I'm like double Matt's age.
Hey, RPG Grandma, how's it going?
Matt's younger than my kid, so
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy, right?
I love him though. He's awesome.
No,
he's
that's
great.
interesting. Oriental Adventures game. I haven't heard someone running an Oriental Adventures campaign in forever.
It's because you can't anymore.
Yeah. Well, you can. You just ignore the shitheads that complain about it. It's like
Get in trouble.
So are we we didn't go to EggCon or VentureCon?
yes,
crowd?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
We're not.
Yes.
We're the
We're not the-
conless.
We're not the cool kids.
Yeah, the wrath
Yeah.
of the conless. So we're going to stream instead, and and be envious of the fact that they're at a
Yeah.
con or
I
at
just-
multiple cons.
I did the back-to-back. That was pretty awesome, but man, I could have gone away this weekend as it was. I was supposed to come in at 11. I got my phone rings at 8:30, 8:32
Yeah.
or something like that. Help, we need you.
Oh God.
Okay. Let me take my meds and come downstairs. And then in the chat, people are like, "Yeah, don't trust the first 5 things that he says."
I'm doing a lot at the end of the year. Like I can't go to some conventions now. I'm almost positive gonna do Katahdin Con.
Nice.
So I can come up and see Stan mostly and eat hot dogs with him.
Yeah.
We've been
Chicago
talking about
dogs?
that recently. No, real hot dogs.
Now,
And,
Chicago dogs.
Roger.
Yeah.
Now my son Bryson is also craving. He's never been to that place, but he was the one looking up the
Dude,
travel time.
Snappies. They got the
Yeah,
Snappies.
He's like, we got to go there. I'm like, yeah, we do.
Which
They
con
got
was
those-
that?
That's the one in Maine, Katahdin.
Yeah, the first year con in Maine. It's in what, October?
It is October 24th and 25th.
Yeah.
And then I am also planning on going to Mepacon 52, I think 51. And that is November 13th through 15th. So I'll be at those two. So, and then I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to WizardCon 2.5 or whatever we're calling it.
Well, that's in October, right?
So I think that's in October,
think
but I'll
that's
be at
in
Katahdin in
October.
October. It's
Yeah.
like the weekend before that.
Mhm.
Maine is easier for me because, well, one, it's a lot closer, but the wife is from there, so it's easy. It's an easy vacation for us.
And I'm here, so
Well, you're there. That's why I'm going. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? So
Oh, look,
You
we're all
youngsters.
youngsters. There's car
Good-
phone,
good stuff.
or crap phone. We're all youngsters. So
and then when's what are you going to, Rich? You're going to a
I'm
couple,
going to
right?
ShireCon
Somebody
in
coming up,
October. September. I mean September.
ShireCon.
I'd like to go to ShireCon.
September,
ShireCon in
ShireCon.
September.
Man, I
Then
wonder if I
that's
should get
September 25, 26. Although
That's
I
in
gotta
New
find
Hampshire,
out.
right?
I might.
Connecticut.
That's
No.
a Friday Saturday convention too.
It's in Connecticut.
Just so you know, that's a
Connecticut.
Friday
Is it Connecticut?
Saturday, and I might end up missing Friday, which I'm going to be quasi pissed if that happens. I won't know until next week. I got to see what my work schedule is. I might be expanding my work hours, and the only day I can do that on is a Friday, and so
Yeah.
that that might eliminate that Friday for me. Either that or I can just skip work that day and go to the con. But the con starts in the afternoon too, so it's only like from 1 to 8 o'clock. So it's like a half a day, and to lose a whole day's worth of work for a half a day con is,
Totally worth it. What?
Sounds worth it to me.
Huh?
Sounds worth it to me.
Well, if it was CNY con, it'd be worth it.
Typically
but,
would
yeah.
be, but it's after the summertime of not making that much, during the summer. I only work 3 weeks during the summertime, so it helps bounce back.
Yeah.
And to miss a day is to set aside.
Let me tell you this, Rich.
Enough,
This is something
enough
that
to make it hurt.
this is something that I didn't think that I'd be saying out loud like a month after CNY number 2, but I think next year I think we're going to be 4 days.
Really?
I think we're going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday full day, Saturday a full day, Sunday, like we did like 2/3 of a day till like 5 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to do Thursday is going to be like the day where we do the meet and greet and
Yeah.
like a dinner and a movie. And so that'll
That'd
be
be
like
cool.
Thursday afternoon,
Well,
Yeah.
Jeanette's already eager to go though, man.
So-
she had a blast.
which is ludicrous to me because we did 3 days and and people are like, you got to do all day Friday. You got to do all day Friday. People want all day Friday at CNY. And I'm like, okay, when are we going to do people? I'll do it Thursday. Let's do it Thursday. So
Yeah.
I think Thursday, I'm going to rent the entire bar out. And,
Oh, they'll cut you a deal because they know how we drink.
yeah. They basically what the hotel told me is they need a guarantee that they'll make more money than the trivia night that goes on in there on Thursday.
Oh God.
And I said,
That's pretty embarrassing
many-
if you can't
I
do
said-
trivia night.
I said, well, what's the average number of players that show up for trivia night? They said 8.
Yeah, I was in there. There was like nobody there.
I said, well, Joe Block ordering beers is going to beat that. I mean,
Yeah.
Between him and Tenkar, we'll double what those guys can do.
Yeah.
So I'm really considering doing that. So doing the half a day Thursday. It's absolutely ludicrous to me that CNY has exploded the way that it has.
That's
Great.
awesome.
It's awesome.
I mean, Jeff's coming back from Tennessee.
Yeah,
His wife.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
not because he wants to; it's because his wife wants to come back. But still,
Yeah.
she had a dude. She was. I kid you not, man. When we were leaving, she was sad that we were leaving. She literally was. I'm like, why you? I'm driving down the highway, right? We're almost in Pennsylvania, and she starts crying,
yeah.
and I'm like, what are you crying for?
Hmm.
She's like, we're
Well,
leaving.
I cry. I cry when I almost get to Pennsylvania too, because I know it's going to be
Oh
all
well, yeah,
construction.
yeah.
Yeah.
God. Oh, and we hit that too. But I made it up for her. She got to see a girl she went to middle and high school with that she hadn't seen in like 40 some odd years. So
Yeah, nice.
I said, hey,
Nice.
it was not too far off the highway. So it was but it was in Pennsylvania. But I saw the Yingling plant there, and I'm like, man, I really want to take a tour. That's where
Yeah,
they make my beer.
yeah,
Um, well, there's, I mean, Jeff is getting ready to run a southern,
yeah.
Where
southern
you
one.
at, Matt?
Yeah.
I'm in East Tennessee. Smoky Con is coming.
Smoky Con is coming. Is that going to be 2027 or?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
2027. I'm taking the slow roll. Make
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing anything. I'm not going head first into. I know where the venue. Probably the venue I'm going to go with for the first year. Maybe
Right.
the second, depending on
How well it
Um,
goes. Yeah.
yeah. I can't quite find a nice hotel like Roger's got. He's got the hookup, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, right. There's, you got to find the right place for it, and you'll find the right
Right.
place. Obviously, my problem at the hotel where we're at is if we grow past 300, I think we're going to have a problem.
Yep.
So there
If
you
we get
go,
to,
Jeff.
yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
He isn't far from North Florida, and it's not cold.
Yeah, it's not too
Yeah.
cold. Even in the, I'm thinking about fall. Let's see. I've got a poll running on my YouTube page, and I
Yeah.
think I've got it on my Facebook page, my
Hmm.
my group
Oh, okay.
Facebook group page. But so far, it's like predominantly fall. People really want to see fall. So I don't know. There's something.
Right. I'm Roger. Hey, Agile, how's it going? Agile, I think is on on somebody's.
Hey,
Oh
So,
yeah.
maybe we'll get Agile to come out here to CNY
I
next
would
year.
love.
Maybe,
I
maybe.
I
Yeah,
definitely want to get him out there.
he's
Him and
got.
We'll
his
see.
son,
Oh well, yeah.
great.
I
You know,
now now I did
the
I
whole
I
crew.
I did offer to bring Michael up. I was gonna go up
Yeah, you're going to pick
through.
them up on the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I offered, and Agile was like all for it, but he was starting, I think his PhD
Hmm.
stuff, so he had to go deal with that. And
Yeah.
man, respect for him, man.
Yeah.
More power to him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you
That's good
know,
stuff.
that's the only reason otherwise he would have wrote up. He probably could have helped me drive. Might have
Yeah,
made it a
right.
little easier. Jeanette's not all of it. She's not everybody. Dan was all, oh, well, Jeanette, you should let Jeanette drive. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Jeanette does not want to drive on the interstate. She's just nope. She's noped out. She doesn't.
Mm.
So I drove the whole way there and I drove the whole way back, and I'll do it again next year.
Yeah, wow. You
Yeah.
you going to do it in one day this time, or?
I now that I know, yeah, I'm the whole from the time I crossed into Virginia all the way up in through Pennsylvania was construction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think I'm just going to go up through Kentucky and Ohio next time and try that route and see if it's any better.
yeah.
I may get hit with some tolls, but
Here in New
Yeah.
York, we wait to do construction until we lose a car in a pothole, and then we say, "Oh, okay, we gotta
Well, maybe
better-
that's
we better
upstate.
fix this."
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, here we used to have signs, especially like in Westchester County. They'll
Yeah.
have signs with the number of deaths at that intersection, and then once it hits, I'm not even exaggerating. Once it hits like 50, they'll put
Yeah.
a street sign there. Once it goes over like 100, that's when a
Yeah.
light goes up. It's like, but they're literally, you need dozens of deaths before they finally do something
Yeah.
about some of these intersections.
Well, we've got all kinds of warnings on the Dragon,
Yeah.
but like especially semi trucks, you can't go this way. And I can guarantee you that a semi, and you get these cavalier guys or the ones that don't read the sign because they can't because it's in English.
Sure.
And you get these boneheads that think that they're going to take their semi down the tail of the dragon, and it's the curviest highway in the country. Literally, it has hairpin turns. You cannot get a semi around those hairpin turns. It's just not possible. Now that's usually what gets them. That's where and then it takes a whole ordeal to get that crap back out of there. Because somebody has to come from the Tennessee side. Somebody has to come
Hey,
from the
Shadow,
North
if
side.
you're available, jump on in. I'll put the invite in there, and jump on in the stream.
I've never played Oriental Adventures. I always thought it would be cool to play in Karator.
Back in the day,
Matt, we're right in Utica. Matt, Utica. Right between Syracuse and Albany.
See, now rugby is a game I could probably watch.
Hmm.
I could get into rugby.
I don't know.
That's sports ball stuff. You're not into
sports ball stuff. I don't. Yeah, I can't. I can't do that. You don't want to hear me complain about that. So what were we talking about? World building?
We
or
were
conventions?
talking about world building, and I was talking about how everybody seemed to be like that became the thing of the week. I guess is
the
like
soup du jour.
The soup du jour of the week is world building, and like I said, I just started my new campaign on Tuesday night, and some of the things that happened during that session, even though it wasn't an adventuring session, but I got so many like inklings of what the world building is going to be like with that, just because of just some of the interactions that the players were having with the NPCs, the couple NPCs that they did meet, and just my setup of the tone of it. And one of the events that took place, so I had it. It's in the world of Greyhawk. It's in the city of Greyhawk, but it is after the timeline of the official Greyhawk lore and everything. So I never put it inside an established world's timeline because I don't want to have to worry too much about stepping on the toes of war or anything like that. So
or the opposite. You get the I had the previous DM before I became the forever DM. I nicknamed him a walking encyclopedia Veronica.
Right.
Because I swear to God, he knew everything there was about Forgotten Realms, which made running anything in Forgotten Realms almost impossible.
Right. Yeah.
Is Jeff frozen just for me, or
no? I think that's his still screen.
That's my still.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. So he's just trying to mess with us, right?
That's my creepy freak down out.
Okay.
Pick. I
that's
figured I'd share it.
Ventriloquism trick, right? It's like he's.
Oh boy.
So anyway,
I had to go get a beer. It's after 8, right?
I know. I should do a shot, right? I got.
Oh boy!
I just got my new bottle of rum, so I should do a shot. I will take a pause for a second. Let's see. You see, that's my still screen right now. I tried doing it on Restream, and it was
freaking.
I mean, I could do this. Let's see.
Yeah, oh
there
my God.
You go.
There it is.
Is that better, Roger?
I love that picture.
That was awesome too, man.
Hey, you know what I do on my stream, guys? I just don't get up
the whole time.
I just don't get up the whole time. I just don't get up.
No. So anyway, so we were, the characters were talking and everything, and there was the Lord Mayor was assassinated, and the thief in the party he had a contact in the tavern that they were in, um, and he went to this other thief and said, "Hey, what's going on?" Because the Lord Mayor was actually a guild member, a high level guild member of the Thieves Guild as well. So the rumor was, or the anticipation was that the Assassins Guild and the Thieves Guild were going to go at each other, over this thing. And so this, the player character turned to this NPC and asked, "Hey, what are we gonna do about this thing?" And I had the NPC just like shushed him down and said, this is not the time or the moment to ask these kind of questions and think about this kind of thing right now." And the player walked away from it thinking like, "Oh, this is something," and he might have even said this out loud, like his character said, "This is something that might be beyond us right now." And that was what I was hoping for, right? When I say build small and start small and build out, I want the players to understand that their characters, even though they are starting out small, that they themselves are going to build out. They themselves are going to become a much more important part of the world building, along the way. And to me, that is where the immersion really comes in. That's the proof of the buy-in, is when they start thinking like, "Oh, I can have an impact on the world. I can," or the other thing is that, like, if they don't engage in something, it continues moving forward. It will either fester, or maybe another party will come in. And this was a conversation Shadow and Son and I had earlier on today, was that, hey, that's something that really happens. Like another party comes in and cleans up your mess, and now they got the credit for it. And you're going to start to seeing them as like competition. And there's a lot of game systems that do that. They incorporate the concept of a rival player character group, that and that could be another group of players as well in a much broader world.
Sure.
Where you're doing that kind of thing. Someone's trying to jump in. Let's see. Knock, knock. Shadow. All right, and there he is.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't get the ping. I'm glad that he did the knock, knock. There you go, Shadow.
Yeah, I've only sitting there like 20 minutes. It's okay.
No, you were not.
We were humming your theme song, man.
I appreciate that. Susie from Susie and the Banshees wrote a song about me.
Really?
Did she?
No, of course not. We never met. But she did write a song called Shadow Time, which was like right around the time like a certain group of people started calling me by Shadow. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run with it.
How you know she didn't write it about me?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
But
Let's see,
Shadow,
let me
what you
get caught up
talking
with some of
about,
the
man?
comments here, and
I didn't know it was going to be this kind of show.
yes.
Me neither. I can go anywhere and get abused.
We love you, bro.
So,
Right back at you, man. So you guys are talking about game mastering, right? Is that what I heard?
well, world building, game
World building,
mastering,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. My point is that to be a true master, you have to world build. You know what I mean? I think Gary might have said
absolutely.
that.
I have to interrupt you for 1 second, Shadow. Right now, Shadow's in his Oriental Adventures mode because his mouth is moving and then the voice is coming afterwards. So he's like the cheap dubbing that used to be done. Like right now, I can't hear you,
What are you
Shadow.
talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, because I was doing the fake move my mouth but not talk. And then I'm going to talk. Big
There's like a half a second delay between the words and your mouthing them come out.
Yeah, no, Shadow's right. I agree with him. You definitely gotta, I mean, I get it. Like new GMs, it's difficult. It looks
It's
like a
not
bigger
easy,
mountain
it's
than
daunting.
it actually is. But it's really like once you start doing it, like if you look at it from the point of view of look, I need to create a little starting town, and I need to create a couple things like near it, and like that's all you really need for a world, right? And then because that's all they're going to go to, right? They're going to go from the tavern, they're going to go buy their weapons, and then they're going to go down the street to, you know, to Jimmy's basement where there's rats.
Mhm.
Like that's the only world you need, and then you figure out from there and you build out. You
Yeah.
don't need to
I was
create this
watching a
huge,
video
world.
last night on world building,
Hmm.
and it was the seven deadly sins of world building, but not Seth Skorkowski, some other person. And I'll share with you guys later. It was really good, but one of the things that I've seen done the most is the guys that just like write and write and write and write and write for the world. Just so much stuff. It's never
Yeah.
going to get used.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
I think I know who you're talking about. Well, there's a lot of people, but I know one in particular. And
No, I wasn't. I wasn't calling anybody out. I learned a long time ago that a game can die at the drop of a hat,
Right.
and if you take copious notes and you do stuff, and you prepare for the next game, that's enough. You know,
you can keep it
Yeah,
going.
there's
right.
a whole lot of dropping a book at the table, going here, read this. You lost them. You know, um, keep it fresh for yourself too. Because you don't want to get stuck like, oh, but I wrote this, so it's got to be this. No, it doesn't. Throw that page out. Do what needs to be done now. Worry about the next game, maybe the game after that. But the more you do that, the more you're telling them what to do, whether you know it or not. Like subconsciously, everything we
Right.
do literally is railroading. It drives me crazy. If you do anything except just randomly roll shit and tell them what happens, it's kind of railroading. What I mean? You're guiding them to something that you already know about. And that's the thing that
Yeah,
the
right.
anti-railroaders hate. Hate is what's going to happen. Yeah, in the next room, there's a couple of ogres. I know that. I put them there. That's not railroading. You decide to get on the ride, which is go in the dungeon. Okay, how far ahead am I allowed to draw the dungeon out before you think you're being railroaded? Um, Suck it up and never admit to it. If you're railroading somebody, say, "Nah, man, it's all random," and they'll just say, "Oh, okay."
Just randomly
Because if
roll
you
dice
say
behind the screen and for
the oldest trick in the book,
keep them
Yeah.
guessing.
Yeah,
Make them worried.
if you have something that you want them to encounter, you know, you don't have to put it where it was originally put. If they decide to go left, then put that encounter to the left now. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
oh, but that's the quantum ogre.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I don't
Yeah,
like
I
doing
was
that.
I was just getting ready to say the quantum. Yeah, but
I don't like doing that. I in the same dungeon I wouldn't do it. Like if it was like a bit of information or like an NPC or something that you wanted to put in there that has, certain information or something to find out about some overarching plot or whatever, put that wherever you want. Move it, say okay, they didn't get it here. We'll give it to them over
that's
here.
what I'm. Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
which is
it's
fine.
like,
But if there's like a group of, if there's an ogre in this room over here, and they say, oh no, we're not going to go over there. We're going to go over here. We haven't drawn yet. And then they find a room over there and you put the ogre in there. I don't know.
Then you have to also make sure you keep track of the fact that the ogre's now over there and instead of where he was.
Well,
the,
I mean, if
the
you're-
ogre shouldn't be stationary. I
No,
got,
I get it.
I got away
right.
from that idea of the stagnant room. It's like
Sure.
you're just hanging out waiting for you to open the door. It was like, and it's
Yeah.
almost
No,
like,
that's crazy, right? You're right there. But I mean, I wouldn't put it there. Just like move the room. You know what I mean? And the room description, like everything with it, and just say, it's wherever the players are going to go next.
If there is a particular, well, that's again, that's why I'm getting away from the idea of, like you do not have to go in and completely clear an entire lair to have defeated the lair. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain, if there's 10 rooms and you've decimated everything in 6 rooms, you've pretty much cleared that lair.
Sure.
Those other 4 rooms are gonna be like, oh shit, we got to get out of here. They're not going to look to fight you at that point, and yet you would still get the same the same benefits, the same experience,
Mhm.
let's say, of defeating the lair. If
Well,
that was your objective, you've achieved your objective without having to kill every last living thing. You don't have to be what was his name? Money from Unforgiven, right? I've killed
Yeah.
everything that walks, crawls, or uh, you
But
don't have to
see,
be the first hobo to get
there's
it.
also a chance that like those last four rooms, they might have emptied out when they hear all this shit going
Yeah,
on.
that's what
They
I'm
might have
saying.
gone out the other way. You know what I mean? Any
Yeah,
number
sure,
of
sure.
other ways that
Or or
because
they
they
may
just
have gotten
watch.
called. They may have heard the combat and they all grabbed their weapons and now you got another wave coming in that was in the other
Mhm.
room because they heard it. But you should
Yeah, I do
also,
that all the time
yeah, yeah. Oh,
yes,
Yeah.
because that's realistic. Yeah,
yeah. Oh shit, there's an invader, we're coming and they're not
yeah.
surprised. I don't
Or
think
maybe
you're
they were peeking through the door, and they just watched their leader get his head lopped off. They're
yeah,
like, "Let's get
yeah.
out of
running
here!"
a
You go
morale
On this
check.
around the
point
other way,
here, on this point here, moving
and
is different than forcing an encounter. And actually, in Four Against Darkness, which is a solo RPG,
Yeah.
um, one of the things is that you encounter the big boss, randomly,
Yep.
but once you've encountered it, it's done,
Yeah. Right.
and you can literally in that, if that's their objective, if that's the goal of the adventure is to kill this particular one boss, if they happen to by chance beat it in the entryway, they've just completed the adventure in the first room.
Yeah.
They could
Mhm.
decide at that point, hey, we're done here, let's go. And that's that becomes the adventure.
we
And
were
then
just talking about that, Blackwell. That's funny.
yeah.
On
So
my show earlier this
let's
morning.
see.
Well, also you should come up with you can have your own random encounters charts
Yeah.
and that says in this room,
Well,
you're going to use
I
this
was
chart.
I was thinking about that. If I make a table with only two encounters on it, it's still random, right?
Yeah, well, I
Uh,
mean, you could just roll a d6 and it could be a
you
chance
see
of
what I'm saying?
nothing
That
and
whole idea that it's got to be random is kind of like who wants that exact factor of randomness and why? You know what I mean? If I go into Burger King right now, they have a schedule. There's certain people that are going to be working that Burger King right now, and if I go back next Saturday, it's going to be the same, or next Friday, it's going to be
Yeah,
the same
but
thing.
but it's going to be random whether there's that homeless guy trying to get a free burger
yeah.
or
Sure.
the
Yeah.
Girl Scout trying to set
What
up and
won't be
sell
ran- what
cookies
won't
or whatever.
what
So
won't
that's
be
what you have the
random is
random
they're not
encounter
going to
for.
go into a Burger King and buy a hot dog, and that's some of the flaws of some random encounters is that
Mhm.
they'll have things on there that don't make sense for the
Mhm.
location that you have them in.
You need to curate your
Absolutely.
own table
Mhm.
is what you
Yeah,
need to
The
do.
whites, the whites in what was it? Keep on the Borderlands. What? You're throwing whites in a first level game? Come on.
Yeah,
Are you
well,
just
okay.
Yeah,
trying
A
to
lot of
Burger
the
regulate
old,
King
them?
and
a
that,
lot of the
and,
random encounters of the old modules were just, hey, let's throw some stuff
but,
that
yeah,
but
there was
there's
a
there's
Medusa
there's
in they keep on the Borderlands too, and a Minotaur, and there's a lot of stuff in that, an owlbear, I believe, as well. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not first level, but
but
that's where you're supposed to either learn to run or die.
that's exactly the point I was getting ready to make was
Yeah,
you know encounters aren't, you don't just go through and it's like, oh look, we're level 1, so we're just going to run into nothing but level 1 people.
Well,
That's not real life, man.
yeah,
yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. From AD&D point of view, when you're outdoors, anything goes. Okay, because it's a
Yep.
big, wide open area. But when you go into a dungeon, it's kind of baked in that you're not going to run into vampires in a first level party in the first level of the dungeon. It's not like fairness, if you will, per se, because it's already unfair for the parties. They're going into the lair that's got 20 rooms, and each room has got different crap on it. I mean, you could literally just empty those rooms all into the entryway as the party's trying to get in. If you want to kill the party, you can kill the party. But it's kind of like good sportsmanship to make the first level of the dungeon the first level of the dungeon with first level
give
stuff.
give
You
give them some
lured them into this
context.
Sure.
first level dungeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to lure them into the lair of smog. Their first adventure, green, wet behind the ears. They open the door and there's a freaking ancient red dragon. That you don't do that. You know what I mean?
Well,
But you can up the difficulty within reason when you're in a dungeon. But beyond a certain point, it just comes across like you're trying to kill them mathematically.
Well,
right.
it goes back to curating your
Mhm.
tables too. Yeah, you may throw something
Sure.
in there that's too tough for them, but there's only like a 1 in 8 chance, or of that happening, and there's probably a 1 in 8 chance of nothing happening.
Right. Usually-
Well,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you
But as
never
soon
know.
as it does happen, you set the ball rolling for
Yeah.
TPK with them having no way around, no way out. I mean,
Yeah.
unless they run outside and it's daylight, and even then, you think the vampire didn't smell them, couldn't track them down that evening. You know what I mean? He knows they're there. They're fresh,
Yeah.
easy kills.
fresh
He's not
meat.
going to go, okay, they ran away. It's cool. The hell
Sure.
you
So I mean,
say?
so you're right. I mean, you wouldn't put a vampire in there. I mean, I might throw one in a coffin in there, but that's me.
Yeah.
And then let the players deal with it if they want to open the thing. But
Well,
that's on them.
give them some hints that
Give them some hints. Absolutely,
Yeah.
give them hints.
This
Right.
Yeah,
room,
But I mean,
this room feels unusually cold.
Yeah, and a
Right.
broken wooden
But-
stake.
Yeah.
Lying
Yeah,
next to
yeah.
the thing.
Agile, we know the rules and the mechanics better than they do, or we should, and we know when the odds are so skewed in the monster's favor. I think we can be better than that. I mean, we can literally, make it completely even a little, but when it's so lopsided that there's really nothing they can do, then that's you may say, oh, it was on them, but no, it wasn't.
Well, it depends on what
It-
they
it-
do with it.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Depends on what they do
yeah,
with it.
even
Like you can leave signs. You can leave signs that big cave up ahead is that that's an ancient red dragon roost. I mean, you can leave
exactly,
dead
exactly.
goats and all
I
that
was,
other
I was
stuff.
referring more to the point where you like literally, you
Right,
kind of
you're in a
you know,
goblin, a dungeon full of goblins, and then there's a dragon or something. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous. I agree with you. It shouldn't happen because then why didn't the dragon just eat all the goblins
Yeah.
or whatever?
And
I
it
mean,
gets
yeah.
to it gets to the point of the next segue thing that I would do is choices and consequences as part of your world
Of
building,
course.
as part of your immersion, as part of your just what you're looking to have the players understand is is something that they're going to be experiencing. Yes, they're going to have choices, but each of those choices are going to have either positive or negative consequences for either engaging with them or ignoring them. And
Mhm.
that is where you can have encounters like that where you give them plenty of hints that, hey,
Yeah, that's the
might
key.
not
That's the key
be
word right there.
where you want to go.
You gotta give them hints.
Well, you also need to put your creatures in there that are compatible in a particular given area. So, like you were talking about the dragon, he would just eat the goblins, right?
Right.
But kobolds, on the other
Right.
hand, would a lot lot of times they worship dragons, and
Exactly.
so
Well,
and
new
Well, they do
kobolds,
now.
but,
They didn't used
yeah.
to.
Old
I don't know when
kobolds
that
weren't.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
old kobolds
when they went
were
from dog
canine, not
ones
reptilian.
to when they
I
went
think it
from
was third edition.
Yeah.
the doggy ones to the
Yeah, that's
lizard
it's
ones.
somewhere in the second edition days.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
They
they
shifted from dogs
switched.
to dragon.
to
Dragon
dragons.
folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, dragon folk.
Now I've done
Mhm.
stuff like that though, Jeff. You mentioned that. Like I've done stuff with kobolds. Well, now I would never put like a red dragon in a cave, where the players go in and it's like a kobold cave,
Yeah.
But I have done things before where players that are like 5th level or so have come across like 50 kobolds that
Yeah.
just like demand a toll if they want to pass,
Yeah.
and then the players are like, no, how about we just slaughter all of you like if you don't move out of our
Well,
way.
that
And then
that's
one of the kobolds hands one of the players a telescope, or not like a like an eyeglass, and points
Mhm.
to like a mountain that's like 5 miles away. and the players look and there's a dragon perched there staring at them, or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like, so they could slaughter all these kobolds and probably get away, but like, that dragon's
gonna
going
be
to
a
be
short
here pretty
victory.
quick. So,
Well, and I always love throwing Urds in there too with kobolds because they're just winged kobolds. So
and I mean, I got 100 gold out of the players that day, so
yeah,
I call
hey,
that a win.
yeah,
Call that a win.
yeah, that's a win. But
To me, that's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have associations, but the thing is that you need to have them explainable.
Yeah.
So why
What the
are like
shit?
when I run keep on the Borderlands and you have the Caves of Chaos, and the Caves of Chaos are truly they're, if you don't think them through, they make no sense, right? So you're looking at them and it's like you'll see that why are goblins right next to hobgoblins next to bugbears? Well, hobgoblins are usually the ones that are enslaving, controlling the goblins,
Right.
and maybe the bugbears are just smaller number of them,
muscle,
and so
muscle.
they're the muscle
Yeah.
also employed by the goblins, and then you have the orcs in the next grouping of caves over there, and they're a rival, and they probably fight back and forth across that one common connecting corridor, and that's where you start building in the idea of faction play, because now the
Yeah.
player characters can be like, hey, you know what?
We'll go kill all the goblins if blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
exactly. You
Or we'll
start,
kill all the
Yeah,
kobolds if where you play them both against the middle and
unless you have a paladin in a group who's just says, nits make lice and wants to kill
vile
everything.
creatures. Yeah.
It's like,
Well, what's apparently I was studying something the other night and I came across, I think it was one of the old Dragon magazines, or I think it was one of the early Dragon magazines where they were, or one of the articles was basically paladins, lawful good doesn't mean it goes to the old argument, lawful good doesn't mean lawful stupid.
right.
that kind of does.
Neither does chaotic evil. Chaotic evil doesn't mean chaotic stupid either.
I mean, what do I know though? My
Well, I
my
mean,
character killed
it
by a
really
giant
depends on the
cat. So.
intelligence score.
Sure,
it's weird because
Sure.
we don't know each other's IQ. So we should be able to like say, you can't play a character over like a 17 intelligence because you just don't have it in you. Sorry, Bob, but you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess I can't play a character with over a 12 strength either, right?
Well, I mean, we're not playing V and V, so it's okay. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. Is there an intelligence like min on the paladin? Because they can be stupid.
No,
as far
it's
as I recall.
charisma, and well, it depends on what system, but usually it's
It's
charisma based. Sometimes there's charisma, wisdom, and strength if it's a fighter subclass or whatever. But yeah, there's
Usually,
definitely no
17s and
intelligence.
everything, right? 17s in those three.
Yeah, but no intelligence thing, which you think should be like I mean, but then if that's the case, you think clerics would be doing the same thing. Well, clerics for any neutral or good god. I mean, I'm sure the evil ones probably don't care. They're trying to recruit anybody, right? But like you try and get somebody that's smart enough. I don't know.
It's so easy to play a druid.
It's easy to play a druid. Yeah.
Well, you play a hell of a druid. Don't let him fool you guys. He's like a one man wrecking crew in my game. Just saying, he freaking just the first time he showed up. I think I let him play like a 7th level druid because the other, or maybe even a little higher, and he came in and cleared 3. They were in a dungeon, and I had him appear through a portal because it was that kind of dungeon. Anyways, had him appear. Maybe it was not a portal, but anyways, he came in and cleared the first 3 rooms single handedly. The monsters were meant to freaking like tear a party apart, and he just went wall of fire, something, and they're just like, who is this guy? He's a druid, and everybody's like a fucking druid. They got wizards, they got fighters, magic users, clerics, the whole gamut. The druid walks in by himself and just like,
I think Gary said
Hey,
that
Bear, how's it
your
going?
Hey, what's up,
your
Bear? Long time no see,
IQ
man.
your IQ divided by 10 was your intelligence score. I think that was the thing in that Dragon magazine article.
Yeah,
Makes
basically
perfect
it's yeah, or your intelligence score times 10 is your IQ.
It was like you got to run like 100-meter dash and like take your time and subtract a number
I
from
remember
it
that
or
one.
whatever,
Well,
and that gives you your dexterity or
wait,
I
wait, wait.
forget all the
Did you
things.
did you just say what did you say? It was it's 10 times
Uh,
10 to
no,
110?
you take your IQ and divide it by 10, and that's your
Yeah.
intelligence score.
right.
Oh, well, then I naturally have a 20. No.
Yeah, no, I think you're off a decimal on that one, Jeff.
So mean.
No, I
Damn.
didn't say
So
which way.
mean.
I didn't say which direction.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, like
He's got a 200
like,
You
IQ.
see what they're doing? Yeah, see
trying
the
to be a
crap
nice
I get,
guy
Bear?
I'm pretty sure we would have
That's
heard
what you
about
get for
it.
hanging out with these guys.
So
I know.
since Bear is the most recent addition here, so let me ask you, Bear. So what's your like top 3 things that you think about when you're thinking about world building?
you want a serious answer or a comedy answer?
Let's try both.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say right off, it's got to be
Uh,
1980, right?
No, thank you for thinking I'm a one-note person like you, California boy.
Ooh.
I'd probably say, jokingly, well, what's in it for me? What movie did I watch that I want to rip off? That's that. There we go. How can I work this thing from Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone into this game? Like that type of thing. No, seriously though, why, where, when?
Okay.
That's your first 3 things. Then you do your who and how after. But yeah. If you don't know why your world is being the way it is, if you don't know when your world became like this, and if you don't know where things are in your world, why are you designing a world?
Right.
Then, naturally, who is in the world? Who are the people that are the movers and the shakers, the normal people, all these things? What's going on there, right? And then how? How does the world keep moving forward? It's why wizards, in every game I run, much to Shadow's chagrin, I fucking kneecap them as hard as I can and make sure that they're nerfed. Because otherwise, why would castles exist? If I can just walk up and wiggle my fingers and go boogada 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 and a fireball rips through the side of that fucking castle, why would they build castles? They would not build castles. They would build something to counter this, right?
Mhm.
So if I want a medieval fantasy world that's recognizable, I have to nerf the wizards. So I put a cap in a D&D game. Nothing past 3rd level. Any spells after 3rd level are ritual spells. You're going to have to get a bunch of fucking wizards together and spend hours and days casting them to be able to pull them off. And that pisses off the Magic playing power gamer who wants to fly or teleport or all those other shit that wizards do.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Or the people in your neighbor world. Yeah. It's
that
you
sounds
know,
perfectly
one thing
reasonable.
I was reading through, starting to read through Matt Finch's book, and he's talking about, not what is in the dungeon now, but what was there beforehand, and why has that changed, and like understanding location, both the before, now, and then what is it going to look like after you're done going through it? Will it repopulate? Will it do this? Will it? And you have to have all of these thoughts in your mind. You're not going to plot it out because who knows what's going to happen. But you have to have all of these things, in your mind, thinking about it. And that's why I think adventures that are location based are a little bit more, a better way of going than trying to build a story around a story around what you want the players to be doing or whatnot. But I think that doing a location based campaign is better because then you are starting small and building outwards.
Well, but I also don't agree with dungeons. I think dungeons make no damn sense. They're absolutely just designed for gaming. They make so if I'm
Well,
going
you
to make a
just
sense that
find a way to
there's a
make it make sense.
no, you don't. You actually choose for similitude instead, and then make things that are make sense in your world. Dungeons are nonsense. They're a leftover from
Well, it depends
wargaming,
on, like,
and
I
they're
guess, your
silly.
definition. I mean,
No, okay.
anything
The
underground. There's
labyrinth
lots of
makes
reasons.
sense. You could have a labyrinth. But this idea of this random thing in the middle of the wilderness with no civilization around it other than a small town 10
You
miles
mean
that
like
way,
the
that's got
funhouse
a
kind of thing?
complex series of architecture that makes no fucking sense, serves no fucking purpose other than to just channel players through a meat grinder. That's what I mean. That dungeons. Locations, yes. But the whole idea of the dungeon is so silly.
Wait, dungeons don't exist in the real world? Can I just walk 5 miles from my house and just walk into a dungeon
Into a
and find some
completely
skeletons and everything in there?
some amazing old design that doesn't have walls or that has like 15 feet of fucking dirt between two corridors because
You're starting to shatter my perception of the world here, Bear.
Yeah,
Well,
man, what's
I
up with
know
that,
that.
Bear?
that's what I'm here for.
I know that in Whitehall and Skyrim, you can just walk up the block and step right into a dungeon, right there in the middle of town.
Well,
No,
if you
they're
can use video
definitely
game modes,
a
for sure.
gamification of
Yeah.
like whatever. It's like a universal thing for like caves or what, like a cave.
Yeah,
I mean, like
that's
Bear is
fine.
saying, you can't, like a small cave, okay, that you can walk into, like, okay. But I don't know if you guys have watched any of those cave diving like YouTube videos,
Mhm.
but like, yeah, they're not 10-foot wide corridors.
Oh no.
They don't have even
Walk in.
floors.
Walk in
They
with
don't
your
have-
battle axe.
I was
Swing
going
that
to say there are some places, from ancient history they're pretty dungeon-like. I mean,
Sure.
they're uninhabited
Sure,
now.
they
Yeah,
exist,
catacombs, like
but
the
not at the
catacombs in
level
Europe
you
and
get
all
in
that
an
stuff.
average
Yeah.
D&D world. Right? Like, the amount of
I
dungeons in Greyhawk is insane.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
because of the sheer volume of the, even at that time when the first Greyhawk map came out, there were like probably over 100,000 players. So making a bunch of a bunch of dungeons on the map was, it was a marketing thing. It's like we got to make it so that not everybody's going into the same freaking dungeon, and everybody has the exact same game experience, which is weird because then they decided that is actually the business model.
Yeah, exactly. So like
With
things like the
some folks.
Cappadocian
There you go, Mayor.
Caves, or I saw that. Thank you very much. The Cappadocian
Yeah.
Caves, or the Paris, whatever the hell that thing
Catacombs
is
or
underneath.
whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
the catacombs,
Right.
whatever the hell that is. The one in Malta. Yes, they exist in the real world,
Yeah.
but they're very
Right.
special, very specific things. They're not random. You know what I mean? In
Yeah,
your
it would be
average.
I like to put like maybe one per like country or state, maybe one
Sure.
thing that's underground and that's their thing. Maybe it's barrows, maybe it's a pyramid,
Mm.
maybe it's a
Sure.
underground sewer complex. But after a while, it gets really kind of ridiculous. It's amazing how many worlds I've seen where it's literally like every hex could randomly have a dungeon. They don't know.
Well,
It's just we're going to randomly find out, and if it shows up there, it must be there.
Well, and this is the thing, right? Like, what broke me on that was when I in college, I wanted to do a lost temple thing, right? Like, it got sunk into the ground, the players have found it, but I wanted it to be cool. So I went into we have a really great library here in Montreal, the McGill Medical Library. It's got an amazing library. It's insane. It's more than just medicine. And we started looking at like floor plans of like actual temples. And I'm looking at the D&D maps, and I'm looking at these floor plans, and it's like, what the hell?
Perfect match, right?
Oh
Perfect
yeah,
match.
you could just lay it over it. They got an overhead projector.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's funny.
crazy.
Dungeon masters are expected to know everything, but there's a whole lot of things we can not possibly cover every facet of education, and you kind of got to give the newbies a break. They gotta make some of these mistakes the hard way.
I mean, I'll also say, like I get that they're not realistic, right? And I mean, I use some dungeons. I'm actually talking about running a mega dungeon right now, so maybe I shouldn't be speaking on this, but like it is in the name. I mean, it is called Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Right.
No, no,
Well, see,
and I
you-
get
you
that, but
gotta
that's
have,
why I don't. That's
know,
why I don't play D&D.
Right. No,
He
I
plays bunnies
I
and
hear you.
burrows.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
No,
play
burrow.
D&D because I got tired of all the tropes being so world breaking for me. They broke my
But
immersion.
there's like the whole idea of fantasy role playing is, what is it, like 90% tropes unless you're doing a historical fiction fantasy game.
Maybe.
I mean, you
I
can
mean, no,
lean into
Shadow
it.
doesn't
And have
like
some
historical
fun.
games.
Well,
He doesn't like
and
those.
even historical games are full of tropes. I mean, I think any
Mhm.
game you play is going to be full of
That's
tropes.
because life is
unless
full
you're-
of tropes.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless you specifically like try.
I am
and
a
stay away
trope.
from
What are you
that,
talking
know?
about?
Yeah.
crazy Canadian. Yeah.
I am a crazy Canadian.
No, I'm not
Every
crazy.
Canadian I know is crazy.
Just
Harmwell, there you go.
for Baron Kaza, he said I must be a Harn fan. I love Harn. I would never play the Harn World system because it's deadly. But
I've
I
never
love,
even.
I
read
love
it.
Harn.
I've not tried it.
One of these days I will, but
I would
I-
like to try Axe, but I don't think I'd ever want to run Axe. I think it's too much work.
I was just saying
But
the same thing
the-
this morning. I'll play in it.
The body
not gonna-
spray.
Yeah, Axe the body spray.
Yeah.
They're making a
Yeah,
game. They figured
Yeah,
figured
they
Burger
brought it
King
back.
and
What
Why
the
not?
hell were they
Wait,
thinking?
and Arby's
was
is
a-
going to
there
make
was-
their own game. So
No,
Axe
Arby's
body
has its
spray
own
might as well make
dice,
one.
and Wendy's had its own module. Remember?
That Wendy's game was playable though, man.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah.
It was crazy
Yeah.
playable. I
Better
was
than
like,
most
man.
things written for 5e.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I'm in this conversation. You're serious.
So
What the hell was that?
let me-
The Wendy's adventure was very playable, and I wish they had made a printed version because I'd love to have it on my shelf.
Yeah.
let me ask
Yeah.
you this: so when you are world building,
Yeah.
so say you are designing your own world, right? Your own, and you've kind of started off, and you want to throw stuff in. Is that where you would take, say, something from a classic module, not these big books that they had for
Sorry, Doc,
5e?
I just noticed.
You
I
know,
don't get pings for when people trying to come in. Maybe I missed Doc.
Did Doc? Oh, where's Doc? He was supposed to join us.
Yeah, no, he tried. I just saw his thing saying that he's trying to join, and now I don't see him.
I'll
Try
tell him
again,
to come
Doc.
back.
I don't think we're not at our maximum yet. So
You can go 10 if you have a restream subscription.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
can do 10.
yeah. I don't know what happened with Ducato.
His camera.
Yeah,
I hear him
no
shaking
camera.
paint, but I think
Oh,
his
is my
camera's
camera
off.
out again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your camera's out again.
It's been
You've
black
like,
for-
silent
black
so
screen for a
long.
while.
It's just been-
I'm on my phone, so that's why it's freaked
yeah.
out. Oh, see, like so it shows.
I didn't want to creep anybody else out anymore, so I turned off my static picture and just threw up my my icon.
Yeah,
I
Doc,
love Fiverr
yeah.
and Dungeons, though.
I just noticed Doc was trying to get him. Maybe he had an internet connection at the moment.
No, he's in Florida.
Ah, all right.
No, well, it's 9:30. The storm should have passed for the day.
Yes, but now the Crocnado is happening, so you gotta watch
Yeah.
out for that.
You know, I grew up there, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
every day
So you know I'm
between
not
3
lying.
and 6. Every day between 3 and 6, it there's a torrential downpour with 50,000 lightning strikes, and
For
You
12
know.
minutes, it downpoured.
yeah, and then the
And then it
humidity
dropped.
goes from
And then- yeah.
the temperature drops
hmm
during the storm, and it's pouring down rain, maybe hail, and then the sun comes back out, and now you've got 1,000% humidity,
Yeah.
and it's just yeah. Don't miss it.
so back to what we were talking about. I like the idea of using real world things and then adapting them to your fantasy world. And one of them that I love that I've wanted to use and I've never used or I want to use, you know, that lake in Venezuela that gets like 10,000 lightning strikes a day.
Oh yeah.
The Titicaca
No.
or the other one?
No, Titicaca's in Bolivia,
okay.
Peru. It's in between Bolivia and Peru. Lake Titicaca. See, Animaniacs taught me everything I need to know about Lake Titicaca. But it's in Venezuela. It's this lake that gets like ridiculous amounts of lightning strikes a day. Like it's constantly being hit by lightning. There's lots of theories why, but they've never really sort of satisfied with one. The nice thing about that idea
Lake
that I want to do with that,
Maracaibo.
Maracaibo. Which, by the way, I'll tell you a funny story about the maracuchas, as they call them, or maracuchos. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I dated a Venezuelan. Anyway, crazy people. So I always wanted to do an adventure where you have that kind of a lake, but there's an island in the middle of it. And there's an old wizard's tower or something on that island, and that's where the players have to go. But they got to get across that lake first.
Got to survive nature.
And low enough level that they're not all casting resistance to electricity. Oh, we're fine. No. Get across the lake first. See if you can survive that trip. Then we'll worry about the tower.
Just send the ginger to them first.
Yeah, there's no way across. I mean,
no, the gingers aren't redheads supposed to be somewhat electric resistant?
If a lightning bolt comes anywhere near that boat, they're all dead. It doesn't even have to directly hit them.
I know. That's what makes it interesting.
No, it makes it impossible.
Sounds like when we played Lamentations, that Lamentations game that Lord Mattias ran, and my co-host Cam, he joined us on that game, and he no sooner got up there than got hit by lightning. And this was a wizard's.
I've been struck by lightning. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
I would like to point out, Shadow, you keep saying you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. Are you an American or American, sir?
I just
it's obvious.
It's obvious. He's Californian.
I got what I was saying.
And you're a Canadian.
I'm not a Canadian.
Everything is just gonna fry your ass. I mean,
the point is that you make it interesting, and they have to make saving throws and all that kind of fun shit as they're trying to get across. And then if they survive to the island, maybe they've lost some hit points by the time they got there from all this. Yeah. And that's when you have the island guardian attack.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the lightning doesn't instantly kill them. You know what I mean? The first time it hits, far enough away. Maybe it it just rocks the boat a little bit. People got to make some saves to not fall in the water and get eaten by the Florida alligators or something.
The lightning gators. Thank you.
Or the lightning gators. Yeah, you're right. Lightning gators. What am I thinking? Lightning gators.
What are you thinking, man? Those guys shoot electricity out of their mouth. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. They're collecting it. They got to spit it back up to get it back.
There you go.
Yeah. Circle, right?
Yeah.
But and then maybe you roll a high roll or natural 20 or whatever, boxcars or whatever system you're using, and then maybe the lightning hits the boat, and now everybody's got to make a dex check or something to jump out of the boat so they don't get zapped. I know it doesn't make sense in the physics world, right? But
I don't want to look like an idiot when the players start telling me, "Hey, that's not how lightning works,"
Yeah, but then you just tell them, "Shut up! This is my world that I built, and this is how lightning works."
Rule
you
zero.
hit them with this magic. Hey, you think this is natural fucking lightning, you idiots? Do you think that there's anywhere in the real world 1,000 lightning strikes a day? No, like you say, 233 lightning strikes per square kilometer in an average year.
Laser gators.
Laser gators.
Well, now
that's a
we.
different lake.
I was gonna.
That's a different lake.
I was gonna say now we've moved into Burrows and Borderlands.
That's the Freon swamp where you get the laser gators.
There you go.
Gators with lasers. They've been modified.
Freaking gators with freaking lasers attached to their heads.
Hey, Florida man is Florida man for a reason. But
I'm telling you, man, it should be a character class at this point.
Yeah. I used to be a Florida man. My favorite time of going to the beach was when a tropical system was coming on.
Rust sturgeons would be freaking nasty.
You know what they say? You know what they say, Jeff?
Flying rust
Florida man, always a
frightening
man.
thing.
What was that Man Shorts? Do you guys remember Man Shorts used to do their D&D sessions? One of them was Florida Man D&D, where they would just take headlines and they'd play that out. It was always so funny, man.
I don't know why they ended it. I don't know. Well, I think
the channel wasn't growing. The channel wasn't growing, and that was that period where all the YouTube advisors that the monetized people had when they were part of the partner program were telling them, "Oh, your channel's no longer relevant, and we're not going to promote it." So they all just
do that actually. They still do that. That's what drove away a couple of those guys. That
was that period.
A great GM was told that.
Yeah.
And he just shut it down. He just,
I just got another email, and I get this email every day, right before the show. I got another email. Hey, you qualified for our partner program, blah, blah, blah. Every day I hit the button to apply, for monetization.
Right.
This has been going on for 3 months. Every day it's like, you
Did,
qualified again.
did you
It's like,
enable your 2-factor authentication crap?
oh yeah,
yet?
yeah, yeah. I did all this stuff, but they keep doing it every day. I guess they think it's funny because they get me. I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, not again. You know, um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still
it's
I'm still
kinda-
earning. I need more subs. So, everybody needs to
Man.
sub to me.
Yeah, go ahead. I did. Yeah, no, my radio station, my
Yeah.
radio channel, Ziggy Radio, monetized, no problems there. It's fine. I don't make much money off it. It's nice. My Bear the Gen X GM, my old version was monetized, but I nuked that fucking channel and I started a new one, and I'm like 260 subs right now. It's like fucking heaven.
Yeah.
Because I learned my lesson the last time. Once I got over 1,000 subs, the assholes started showing up in droves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ugh.
we just had one the other day, right? Right,
I-
Bloodworth?
I've had like one in I usually don't get them. It's very
You're
rare
nice.
for me to get one, and the one that I did get recently, he came from Bear's Canadian cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's giving you shit, man.
Who am I taking responsibility for?
The other crazy fucking Canadian.
Condor?
Oh boy. Oh, you said his name.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
no.
you said his name.
Name.
Oh,
No.
Beetlejuice. I take
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Oh no.
I take no
Never heard of
responsibility
him.
for
I don't know what you're
anyone
talking
else.
about.
My country is full of crazy people.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
real pretty up there. Or it was until Ontario.
We're
caught
not
on
getting
fire.
their wildfire. If they're
Let me tell you what most of the rest of Canada
goes
thinks
off.
about. Listen, here's what most of the rest of Canada thinks about Ontario being on fire, and like we don't care. The only people who care about Ontario are Ontarians. The rest of us are like, fuck that place.
No, we in New
Jesus
York care
Christ.
about it because it's.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Canadians. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck what you think
Yeah.
down below the border. You don't have to fucking live with them.
No,
Well,
we honestly we don't care that they're burning. We just care that you're blowing all your smoke.
No.
down.
Yeah.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite. The fucking Michigan, Canada. This is a sternly worded letter about the smoke. What we want to
Yeah.
see? You want to set up giant fans on the border? What the fuck is wrong with
Yes.
you? Shut up.
That's what we want.
Listen,
Keep the smoke
our-
on your
listen.
side.
Our smoke goes down to your fucking states when we have the wildfires, and your fucking idiots visit our cities on the weekends and cause problems. It's a fair
Yeah,
fucking trade.
It's a fair trade, yeah. And you guys take our
Well,
money. It's so cute.
Unfortunately, I am going to miss ShireCon 2027
What?
Oh.
because I have a Canadian wedding to go to in probably around like Barrie or Toronto or something in that area.
Well, maybe it'll be burned down by then, so you won't have to go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Yeah,
I'm really
I don't
upset about
know.
Wow.
If you guys could ever get rid of the crazies, I'd like to go back and visit there sometime in the summer when
In
it's
Canada?
yeah, I've been up there.
Lots of places you can go where there's no.
No,
crazy. There's
I
less
enjoyed.
crazy.
I've enjoyed the 3 or 4 times that I've been to Canada, but always to Toronto, always to like just the outskirts of Toronto and everything.
I'm just used to getting stopped at the border. I got used to that every
I
time
don't
I
get
cross.
stopped at the border.
Well, no, yeah, but you're mild mannered looking,
Yeah.
But at the time, I had a beat up old pickup truck, a little tiny
Oh,
pickup
boy.
truck, and my long hair, and I was in my 20s and Florida plates, and of course, must have checked a bunch of boxes.
No, different ShireCon, Baron.
Baron, that's
That's the one in UK.
no,
ShireCon
ShireCon
is-
Baron,
is
Rob,
one that
he's
is
talking
in
about
That's Tom Wilson's.
Dragon
Tom
Fest.
Wilson's.
He's talking about the Green Dragon Fest thing.
Yes.
That's here. That's over here.
Yeah, I know. That's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
can't- I
That's
can't
what
afford
Baron's
that.
talking about.
Oh, you
I
can
know.
afford to do that.
That's what Baron
Get a
Karza is
second
talking
mortgage
about.
and
though,
you can
is what
go
I'm saying.
there.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
think
oh, by
you
Baron
could
Durop.
sit at
Yeah.
the
So
table
I,
of Ginny D, and she could run a game for you.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know I
maybe.
don't know where Baron Durop lives. Because I've never run across
Jenny
him.
D.
Oh boy.
Can my nipples get any harder?
Well,
Anyway.
Well, I'm not going to dox Baron Durop on the stream. So
Yeah. But
I've met him. He was.
I
he
really
wasn't a
liked
bad
him.
guy. I met him.
I
Nice
loved
guy.
his.
I would love to meet him.
his-
I'd
Yeah,
love to
no.
talk with him. I think he'd
his
probably
his
be.
his geopolitics video on Greyhawk was fantastic and made me
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
Greyhawk in a very different way. It was a great video. The
Yeah.
problem is it's just there's something that happens as they move into the dungeon tube circle.
Yeah.
They all just kind of become not.
Well,
as
they all have the same
enjoyable
business
anymore.
manager. They all
Do
have
they?
the same business manager. Yes, they all have the same public relations manager. So
They all
that
work for the
whole
same.
clique,
Well, they're
they're
at
all
the same
part of
firm.
the same thing. That's why you can't really break into them that
Yeah.
much. There's
With some exceptions.
with one exception that you already had on your.
I had on my
No.
show last Sunday,
Who?
Professor
Who?
DM. I had Professor Dungeon Master on.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Professor
I'm not a
DM is
fan.
not so
No,
much like
he's a
not.
smart guy.
He's not.
Yeah, he's a very
angry.
smart guy.
Oh no, he's.
But
a great guy.
I was on his Patreon back in the day, and he was offering his free copy of Deathbringer. But I was looking through and I couldn't find it, so I posted a message on the announcement saying, "Hey, I can't find it. Where's the link?" And a bunch of his fucking patrons started giving me shit and calling me stupid because I couldn't find a link. None of them gave me the link, but they all told me I was an idiot because I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then I sent him a message saying, "Hey man, is this kosher here? Is this what you allow people to do? I want the link to the thing you said I could get for signing up to your Patreon." Never fucking bothered to respond to me. No word back. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that guy. Fuck that
Well,
guy.
he's
You want my money.
he's a nice.
I don't
guy.
give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You want my money? Give me some customer service. You
I
can't give me customer service?
get you.
I'm not interested. You
I
know,
get
simple
you.
as that. God bless him. I see he's doing very well with his Shadow Dark conversion.
He's
Good
over
for
a
him.
million. He's over a
Good for
million.
him.
Yeah.
I look forward to the end of August fighting to raise $5,000 for art. You know what I mean? And that's the difference of the worlds we live in, right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's up here making all that Shadow Dark money. I'm down here scraping and begging for art money. It's a different world. I can't relate to them.
But
Problem is,
he did
Sorry, go ahead.
retire. I was gonna say he did retire from it. He was an
Teacher.
educator for 30 years, and he retired. And well, he resigned. He left it. Big risk because he's tenured and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And he did this right on top of his wife retiring. So this is a big risk for him, and
Well, yeah, I'm also sure
No,
that his
listen.
understandably
health-
nervous. He was
his health
more
also,
nervous than I expected.
part of the thing too. A lot of people I know. I mean, I do teacher retirements. That's my my job
Yeah.
now. And
If you guys honestly think he tells people, complete strangers, his whole strategy and what he's really doing financially, etc.
No.
Yeah. no,
I
but
got a bridge I want to tell you.
All right, let me make this statement for all the people listening. I wish him nothing but success. I hope that he makes $2.5 million on Deathbringer, and I hope he has a beautiful long life and he retires a happy fat old man. Okay,
Yeah.
Nothing against the guy, just not for me. That's how I am.
I get you.
You know?
Okay.
I wish you the best. It's just not for me. You know.
There's only two
poor
of them,
Archive is right.
there's only two of them that I don't support.
There's
Who
a
those?
couple of them I don't.
Who
Really,
don't Who don't you support? I'm curious.
Of that group,
Yeah.
Justin Alexander,
Yeah.
who basically told anybody on the on the right of Mao not to buy his shit, and who's the other one? Daniel Fox is another one that's just
Don't know him.
Daniel Fox is Zweihander, the
The Zwinghander guy. That guy can go fuck himself.
yeah. So those are the only two. The rest I've met, and they're nice enough guys. I mean, I didn't meet Bob the World Builder. I saw him in the distance.
I want to meet Bob and Grace because I think
always,
they're gonna be.
he always looked like
they're
Moto.
very nice
he
people.
always looked like he was going
Hello,
somewhere, and
Moto.
he wasn't even like slowing to hesitate to greet anybody or anything like that. Baron Durop and I just stopped walking in a direction, and he stopped and started talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Professor Dungeon Master, same thing. I mean, I walked up, I say, "Hey, how's it going, Professor Dungeon Master?" And then we just started talking. You know, Kelsey Dion walked up to me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so great to meet you and everything like that." I was like, "Jesus Christ!" I was like,
I,
wasn't expecting that. You
I
know,
think if we could talk, if we can do games, let's talk games first, right? And
yeah,
then, the politics don't need. That's the thing. Back in the '80s and the '90s, we did. I didn't know what half of my friends' politics were, and
yeah.
I
But
didn't care.
what I'm saying is, like, none of those people I just mentioned talk politics. You
Right?
never hear them talking
Yeah.
politics.
Yeah.
The
And
I
ones
get
that I pointed out that I have no use for, they do talk politics.
Can,
That-
can I just float something though? I just want to float this out there. Kelsey Dion, Professor Dungeon Master, all these people making their D&D hacks and their D&D clones and their D&D. You want to impress me? Make a new game.
so, have you met my buddy Dean?
Dean who?
Dean. Dean
Exactly.
of the Key. No. You're gonna have him on your show, right?
No,
Right, Roger.
all I'm saying is
Untold
it's
Destiny
one of those
is
things
different.
that's like, that's the thing. Nobody knows the name because, not that nobody doesn't know the name, but to Bear's credit, right? I mean, I'll give them this one. Like the big names and what people are making remakes of
Even I
Dungeons
did
and
it.
Dragons over and over.
Even I did it. Even
And
I've
now-
done it. Right?
And I like the D20 system, right? I mean, I know it's not the only be all end all system. I like it more than Bear does. I know that.
I don't hate
But
it.
like, what was that?
I don't hate it.
No, you don't hate it. Right. But
I-
like,
It's a
I
game
mean, that's
mechanic.
the
How do you
thing.
like
know
like
what I
or
mean?
hate?
Yeah, right.
A die that's being
All I'm
used.
saying is if you want to impress me, you know who impresses me? What's his name? Mike Pondsmith with Cyberpunk. He made a game. You know what I mean? That impresses me.
Yeah.
That blows me away. Is when you can make a game and it's new and it's good. Shit, you got some talent, son. There's something there to that. Everyone doing their D&D clones. It's like, okay, I get it, but these are all house rules that could go in a fucking knock spell pamphlet. You know what I mean? Like they don't need entire games around them. At least that's how I feel. But I'm also very tired of the D&D thing. I'm very tired of this. Like, and it's like the lingua franca of our fucking hobby. Everything is D&D, 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 D&D. I mean, I'm doing a 5e superhero game this summer, for fuck's sake. Like even I'm sucked into it. But-
D&D.
I'm a little exhausted. No,
this,
I'm not gonna.
This
He's
was
right.
a lot of fun to play.
No, it's
All right.
that?
A dropship,
Yeah.
Dropship.
Good.
Yeah.
a lot of fun to play.
Totally different system.
Those
Oh,
are
that's what's his name?
Blackwall.
Todd Ritzma. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Blackwall.
the other one he did, Horde War.
The
Horde
Horde
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that.
Dropship, I
Thanks,
think
man.
Dropship was a lot more fun, to be honest with you. Maybe because it's a different genre, and so it was. It was tremendous.
We had fun. We had fun. We played in Todd's game there at CNY.
Yeah.
Jeanette and I did, and
It sounds fun, but like a huge number of my players just absolutely refuse to anything even remotely akin to taking orders because they're in a military unit. There's like they won't do it.
well,
They're just so freaking. I got to be 100% in control of my own free, will, etc. I got to be able to freaking, it's like they're just waiting to grab their bug out bag.
Well,
and
stop
disappear from the
recruiting
band.
players at the Ayn Rand Society,
I know.
man. Come on.
I will tell you. my experience with Dropship. I would definitely play it again. I thought it was fun. Jeanette and I both had a blast. However, it is very combat centric.
Mhm.
I said it's very. I found it to be a very combat centric type
because-
of game. It's that's what it's based upon. It's take out the baddies and try and one way or another try to get around them, and my personal love, combat is the lowest of my favorite parts of role playing games, tabletop role playing games. Combat is the least fun thing for me. Not that it's not fun. I'm not, but I like the exploration. I like the other pillars.
You want to go dancing in the prom. That's what you want. You want.
That's
You
it.
wanna
And I want to go
work-
baking. I want to go
You wanna
bake
bake,
bread.
you
and
want to work at
muffins
the
with
gonna be a
the
barista
dwarves.
and fucking what's it called?
No.
Yeah. We get it.
No.
Pumpkin
No.
spice basic bitch.
Oh boy.
Oh no, seriously though, I like the exploration. I like thinking. I like traps, puzzles, and stuff like that.
Okay.
I
Uh,
like
okay,
working
now I'm
around.
gonna pile on you.
Well,
Fuck that. No traps. I mean, no puzzles. Screw that. Oh, it's like
It's a
the
thinking man's
likelihood.
game.
mm,
Look, unless I'm like playing like Elder Scrolls and I can see the puzzle and I can work it out. You know what I mean? I can't expect my players to do that and uh, figure. If I try to
What are
describe
you
a
hanging out
puzzle,
with dumb people for? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
boy.
I don't know. You guys invited me.
We were talking about
D20
IQ
big.
That's a
levels
good one.
earlier. I don't know.
I
D20
mean, I just
bigger.
go where I'm welcome. I don't know. I just stumbled in here on accident. Who are you guys? It's
So,
so
so
Who
hard to
are
basically,
get.
you're
you? Why am
saying
I
you're the
here?
vagrant of the role playing world. Is that it? You just wander around
Oh
looking
God,
for
I never go
change.
anywhere. I
Gonna,
never
gonna,
go anywhere.
gonna pull the Admiral Stockdale line there, huh? Who am I? Why
I
am
just
I
want to play
here?
more. Hey, I have game slot openings. Poor Orc Child.
When are your openings? What days?
Uh, Thursday nights for D&D BX, and always Saturday OSE. You just have to play a dwarf,
I have to play a dwarf.
all dwarf campaign. But so
I
Thursday
like to
night
play
8
anything.
p.m.
Maybe.
Saturday night 8 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. Yeah, it has to. You know my schedule. I work until 8 p.m. So I can't usually do
That's not
anything
a bad
earlier than that.
idea, Karza. But even then, I don't play at a table. I play online only, so that's really not feasible. And ask Cal. We're lucky if we get 2 straight hours of role playing, even though we schedule 4. We're bullshitting so much, uh, which to me
I
is half the fun.
I
So
yeah.
it would just be, just roll some dice. It was a puzzle. You figured it out. Let's move on. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
it
gotta open,
definitely
gotta open the
takes
shop
the
before
right
I can do
kind of
shit like
people
that.
to do that sort of thing. Some players want to do that. They want like an anagram or something to be handed to them, and they want to kind of
Dude,
sit
that
in the
was
corner and
fun
figure
with
it
the
out.
Arduin there. I was on track, but our group I think was the first one to play, and we did not solve that puzzle, but we still took out
Oh, excuse me.
the
Oh,
Medusa. So
Right, but it's a thing that some people like to do and some people don't. Like, which is generally why I don't put them in games. Unless I'm prepared to say, okay, like if I got 3 people at my table frustrated that people are sitting there trying to figure out a secret code or something, you just make people roll a couple intelligence rolls or whatever, and
well, I think
time passes and we get through it.
I think that's the way that you deal with it. If the players are starting to get frustrated, you can
Yeah,
be like, all right, make an intelligence roll, and then if they succeed on that, then you give them a hint, and and the longer it goes, after 3 times, if they make 3 successful intelligence rolls, at that point, oh, you finally figured out, blah, but some people like me, I love those challenges. Other people, I
yeah.
get it, they
See,
don't. There needs to be
not to
multiple
mention like
ways.
for like most games that I run, they're they're pretty high magic. Someone's just gonna pass wall and go right through the puzzle and the trap door wall, etc. They're gonna use some of those higher level magics, which for me is a sweet spot. If people are still mucking around with second and third level spells, I'm like, here, just take 100,000 XP. Let's get you up to freaking 10th level as quick as possible.
So
I'm
you
just
You
like,
you
upgrade.
got you got
burn.
you got a low threshold for people. Yeah. Well,
No,
and
no, I think after 50 years of playing Mud Sword, I deserve to finally get to play some games where, you know, people do make it to 10th level. Uh,
do you
it's
like
just,
do you like 10th and above?
oh, that's my favorite. Oh, yeah.
Okay. See.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
literally trying to
Shadow
write a
doesn't like
game.
starting. Shadow doesn't like starting. First level characters and working the way up.
No,
But
no, 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 no. What I don't like is playing the same game that I've been playing, I
Yeah,
can't
and
tell you
then
how many
getting to
times
like seventh
it
level and
seems
then
like
stopping. Yeah,
yeah, it seems like well, not just that, but like people say, hey, I'm running a game, blah 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 blah, and it ends up being the same game I've already been in like 20 times. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, we're gonna struggle for the first 10 sessions, and if we're lucky, we might get to second level by session 11. I put in
yeah.
30 hours. I'm like, no, there's just
Yeah.
no.
Well, I've
The time is
experienced
wasted.
that
I don't
too.
get out
So
of
I
bed
get
for
it,
less than $100 an hour,
but
so I'm certainly not going to freaking
yeah.
sit at a table for like copper
Baby,
people.
you get into bed for $100 an hour. Don't
Well,
talk
when
Hundred
I
shit.
bucks
when
an
I when I
hour.
I
when
get
I
into bed for
don't
a lot
I can
less than
neither
that.
confirm nor deny, Bear.
what I think is an unreasonable expectation though for high level play though is like I've encountered this with players. They're like, oh well, I want to do high level play like 15 plus, but I don't want to be doing anything that is epic world, world altering kind of stuff. It's like, well,
That's kind of the
what
level
are
you're
you going to
at.
do?
It's
You're
kind of yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of implied that yeah, you've forgot, or I want to be a king and go adventuring. No, that doesn't
That
happen
doesn't
either.
happen. No.
You know what I'm
Excuse
saying?
me.
It's
Excuse me.
Well,
I
I
must
mean,
take my leave of
good
you,
once in a
gentlemen.
while.
oh, good night, Bear.
Thank you
there.
for
Yep,
hanging out.
right.
Lovely seeing you all.
Take care, Bear.
Fun time. And
Stay
you know
safe
what? Probably the
and,
most fun I've had talking about D&D in a long time. So well done.
good. And stop
Sure,
saying
thanks for
Have a
stopping
good
in.
we're tired
See
of
you guys
this
later.
trope, so
See ya.
Play real games.
I think that's the important takeaway, right? Like
Yeah,
play the game that you want to play.
yes.
Run the game that you want to run. Play the game.
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's
that's hard. It's harder than you think when you've played as much. Because it's not just like the fact that I'm as old as you guys, but for most of my life, I've been retired since I was 35, and I've played hundreds of thousands of hours.
sure.
Yeah.
I used to play every from like a certain point. We played like literally every day, and this was college level and above into my 30s, every single day, 6 hours a day. Um, and some of these things are like been there done that like 10, 20 times. um
Sure.
it's hard, man. It's hard, uh without being rude. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
you're
I
getting,
get it. Yeah.
you know
But I mean, you
uh,
can't be like if you're going to be upset about it. I'm not saying that you're upset about it, but what I'm saying
no,
is
no.
Yeah.
like if you're not into something and it's I mean, play something that's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
Like run something that's going to make you happy. And
And
I know it's
yeah,
hard to
run
find the
something. I was
players
gonna
and the
say,
people
run
to do that
something that's
stuff.
going to
but-
make you happy. And Shadow and I had this conversation, the other day, and I was like, you know what? I have found as as the near forever game master, I've said that I kind of discover game systems and their flaws around like week 12 to 16, where it's like, man, this game system really it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do what it should be doing. It doesn't. And if I have to start changing all this stuff, 16 weeks in, it's like
You
that.
should never have to do that.
Yeah.
But you
It's like,
literally should. You literally should play the game as close to raw as you can for as long as you can before you start tweaking it. Because
Absolutely.
yeah,
as soon as you start tweaking it, like I got it, I read it, but I'm going to change all this. Then you might as well be playing the game that you're
a different
stealing
game,
the world
right?
from.
And
Yeah.
that's why.
Like, what are you stealing from? Oh, you're stealing from BX or Shadow Dark or whatever. Why don't you just play that and just come up? Use this book as inspiration to create a world or a scenario that fits what you actually want.
Yeah.
Because the more games I look at, the more I go, they're the same fucking game.
Well, yeah.
The minor rule tweaks are not enough. You need to really like try harder to make your world different. You know what I mean? Not just the same six stats, the same
Well,
races, the same professions. But then what's different? Oh, the way we roll to hit, or the way we do armor, the
Yeah.
way we make saving throws. It's the same fucking game.
that's why that's why I've avoided calling our new campaign a Castles and Crusades campaign. It's not. It's a Greyhawk campaign. All right. It's a setting campaign. And now Castles and Crusades might be the core of the game system, but but everything else, like all the other components that I'm bringing into it, coming from like 5 different other games. All right, but it's not a
which
Castles and Crusades campaign. It is a
which proves
single playbook.
the ever present point. There is no perfect game. There never will be a
No,
perfect set of rules,
no,
except Arduin.
Hey, listen,
Except
my
Arduin.
next game,
no. I
my
would
next
probably,
We're
game is going to be
obligated to say
perfect.
that,
All
aren't
I
right.
we?
team you. It's a
I,
joke. That's a
I
joke.
would probably still, you know,
I'm obligated to say that at least once an episode.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Once I
me
get
too.
Arduin and I start reading through it and everything, I will probably still find things in there that I'm going to tweak.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
you got to remember, it's not a rule system. I mean, it's not a game. It's a compilation of ideas to add to any game. Pick and choose as you want. What's great about Arduin, it's not the rules, it's not the mechanics,
Right.
it's none of that stuff. It's the world
Yeah.
that it all comes from. It's the creatures, the characters, the spells, the magic, the places that are unique
Yeah,
that you won't find anywhere else because they're on Arduin. And
Right.
every
sure.
world should be like that. We should be working more on making the world ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making Greyhawk yours by putting in things. Even if it's only NPCs because you want to use all the
Right.
landmarks. Cool, but make the people yours. Make up a freaking 100 NPCs. Because ultimately, I think as GMs, for me at least, the most fun I have is playing the NPCs. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah.
That's to me getting to play all these weirdos that I have to make up on the fly, or I've been waiting all night. I can't wait till they meet so and so, and you bring them out, and you start being that guy for 10 minutes. Like, oh, that was awesome. I can't wait till they meet him again. He's going to be such an asshole, or he's going to do this, or she's going to do that. That's the best. That's why I'm here. Is
Thank you
making
very
up those
much,
guys.
Agile Monk. Yeah, his second anniversary, on the channel. Thank you so much
Thanks, Cal.
for his constant support. And the
Exactly,
next
Grandma.
world setting I will be using will be Zendria at some point. Once I get the books in my hand and I have the maps and everything like that, I am going to start creating that for sure. And Death Angels, thank you so much for your
Yeah,
continued
man.
support
Oh
as well.
boy.
I don't give nobody money. Sorry, I'm a
No,
cheap
that's fine.
bastard. That's how I got to where I am.
Mm.
Actually, that's not true. The only person I do give money to is Bear, and I forget that I even do that because I he was really hurting, so I signed up to his Patreon. I went there once and I forgot about it. Um, I don't know what they even do over there.
Yeah, there's a few that there's only like two that I actually follow, and and then I switch out from them, from time to time. Like I was doing Troll Lord games for quite a while, and then I was like, well, I really don't catch their streams that often anymore. So, but yeah, I'd rather just feature other channels and put that stuff out there. When you guys are putting up stuff, I'll once you're monetized, I'll send you those things there. Like I can't believe you're not
Appreciate it.
monetized yet, Shadow.
Well,
That's a bizarre thing. Very bizarre.
I think they're still holding it against me because that one guy who did the one thing back in the day, um, or because when we first started the channel, our very first year, we were at the dinner table with a big giant American flag,
Nah.
things like that.
Listen, the guy that I will not mention, from Canada, he's monetized. And if he
Really?
got monetized after having
Yeah, well,
channel
we can
nuked.
thank Double D for that. Double D did the dumbest thing I can think of
Mm,
and made him famous and wealthy. He was
yeah,
bitching about him for stealing money from other people, and so what did you do? You guaranteed his income.
yeah,
There you go. How's that?
That's beautiful.
Isn't
yeah.
it? I love that. I love that map. And
What is that map? That map is the
It's one of the Arduin maps.
one of
Yep.
the other one maps, one of the larger
And
ones.
if you look
Also
down
the
in the
tube.
bottom, if you look
Yeah,
down the
I see
bottom
the
left
tube.
hand
Yeah,
corner, on the
Yep.
very bottom left hand corner, you'll see the Shadow and Sun Mountains. And if
yeah.
you go to almost dead center, you'll see Ten Cars Tavern.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And
It's
I found
fucking
I
the
found
greatest honor, I can imagine in the D&D sphere. Um, And it was
Cool.
a total surprise. They didn't tell me until after I got my copy of the map. They said, "Hey, go check out, this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
Yeah, and then agile, that's still in the works too. I mean, I'm just waiting to have everything ready. That will be in 2027, and I will be running that at conventions.
Running what?
So I'm I'm writing an adventure set in for CNC, set in Zendria. So as soon as
Okay.
I get, that Kickstarter book in my hands, and a little bit more than what I already have, that they that I have for it, and then once I have the full thing and the map and everything like that, I can really get myself immersed into that world setting and the mechanics behind the faction systems and everything that are built into play. Then I'm going to use. I'm going to make like 3 versions of that. As a matter of fact, I'll probably make a version for every that adventure. I'll make a version for every one of the game systems that Zendria is done for, right?
Yeah.
So a Shadow Dark version, and remind me, Agile, a CNC Shadow Dark, was OSC one of the first ones as well. Now I'm forgetting, but yes, that's definitely will be done, and there'll be a conversion of it for each of the 4 systems that it's launching for.
Yeah.
Um,
I have my Arduino phone book upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of those map tubes, so I was looking and they don't have the tubes yet, but I'm going to wait till I see those guys at a convention. I'm picking up the maps the next time.
Oh, you didn't get them at CNY, huh?
No, I didn't get them at CNY.
Oh.
I got very limited in what I could purchase when I was at CNY. Everything got put off to afterwards, so, but I
Do you guys
backed in.
remember?
Say again?
Oh, you just made me remember something. Somebody was asking if my son Jack was available to do more flags or coat of arms or something,
Mhm.
because he did the flags on the other map. He designed all the flags, and someone was asking me um, if Jackie was available to do that for their project, because he's literally the only person out there that does that or will do that with the expertise. I mean, you would think that if making and designing flags, was your gig, that you'd take on. If someone says, "Hey, I want you to design flags for a fantasy project," you think you'd take the freaking job. I mean, how often do people need flags made? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
need you to design some historically accurate flags for the real world. Yeah, never. You know what I mean? Nobody needs that.
Yeah.
They're all done. We've all got our flags for all our countries. You just cut yourself out of a job. I don't know. It's weird.
Nah. It's all good.
I
Well, I
wish
hope
you
it
all the
gets.
best, RPG Grandma, on that. And if you need anything, reach out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
I need to start writing some stuff. I really need
yeah,
to.
I mean, right now
I
I've been tweaking the stuff for Hyperborea, and writing adventures for Hyperborea, um, and then I'll continue doing that, and then start doing. I want to get back to doing more writing as well. Maybe a little bit less running games and more writing. So I'll probably still end up
yeah, I
running
told
a game
myself.
a week. You know, I keep on trying to break away from running so many games, and then you look at what I'm doing right now. It's like you know, I'm running this, on Saturdays. I'm running this on Tuesdays, and I'm running this on Thursdays. It's like at some point I have to say, what, I'm only running twice a week, and then I see
Will
because I'm
do.
currently reading
Agile.
this now, so you know then I have drop
I,
ship,
I, I'm.
and then I
I
have
know how you feel, man.
Battle of the
I'm.
Borderlands. I still have to start digging through as well, and I might get around to actually running something for some of those other game systems, but only like one shots.
I'm contractually obligated to write 3 things in the next 6 months, and I haven't typed a word
I
in.
could never do that kind of a thing. Yeah, I
I
can't. I don't work that way, or I only work under pressure, and but I can't have 3 things on the table under pressure like that. No, I'm
Well, one of them is one of them. To be honest, it's not as I got about a year. Let's say I got a year.
Did you read this, Shadow?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
Where can I find you, Ducato?
That wasn't Staccato. That was
That
Agile Monk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I can send you his link.
Yeah.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can reach out on my Discord. He's on my Discord. You can reach him there too.
Okay.
And if you want, you can
I'm
throw
really
up
bad
your
about that.
Discord thing, and I'll throw yours up there. So just send that to me in a private chat, your Discord link, and then I'll post it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really bad about that stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Because
terrible with
depending on
self
which
promotion
device,
as well.
no, it depends on which device I'm on.
Yeah.
Some won't do certain things. Like I use my tablets for. I've got 2 tablets, and I use them for like 90% of the stuff I do, even recording my videos. And one of them won't do anything on Discord. I can read and type. That's it. If I try to do any of the editing or any of that, like no, you can click on that all you want, but you're just going to crack the glass. Nothing's going to happen. If I go to my laptop, I can do most of the stuff, but when I do that, I'm usually up here doing like this stuff, So I just completely forget that I was supposed to, edit this or do that on Discord, and then I just forget and go back downstairs and I'm like, oh, wasn't I supposed to? I'll do it next time I go upstairs, and that
Yeah,
just doesn't.
I put you both in a little group chat,
Yeah.
Shadow. You and Agile.
Okay, cool.
So that's what
Appreciate it.
that's what the beeping was on Discord. That was me. So,
Okay.
since you mentioned it.
Roger makes all my videos.
Yeah.
I just let you know he's not cheap. I taught him well. He's not cheap. We'll work a package deal.
He's Agile's a great guy. And one of these days
So
I'm
is
gonna
my
get you on
boy.
this. Oh yeah, Jackie's awesome, man. We need
It's a
and
smart ass.
I can't wait to get you on this Babylon 5 retrospective, man, so we can just bug the hell out
I
of
know. You just gotta
Roger
keep
about it.
bugging me about
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
I love Babylon 5. Babylon 5 is one of the best things ever to be on
Okay.
TV.
All right. I got to go.
See what I did
gone.
there?
Not a fan, huh?
Can't be here with you. No, you know
He's
what?
never watched it.
I never really watched it. I was like, I don't know what was on at the time, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, whatever. I was watching that stuff. Never, I saw, previews of it and stuff. It looked like it looked like a cheap copy of Star Trek. I'm sorry, guys, but that's just what it looked like to me. And I never watched it or anything. And then now all of a sudden, because of Jeff here, like everybody just talks about it and is like, it's like the greatest thing ever. So I break his balls about it all the time.
He does. You break my
Well,
balls about a lot of shit, though.
It's on my list. I'll watch it at some point. I'm so busy with everything going
Just
on, the
understand-
convention, and
Just
gaming
get
and
through
everything.
season 1. You got to get through season 1.
You can get through season 1, you will be better for it. It's basically like this. It's like the difference between watching,
Season
a
1.
TV show.
I was gonna say
No,
season
like
1
watching a
is
TV
next
show and a
generation.
movie. If you like the episodic things and you don't care about, what happens in between, cool. That's not what that is. Babylon 5 is the Lord of the Rings in space. Literally, it's got a beginning, middle, and end. And when you
Yeah.
get to the end, like a lot of people I know, you might be crying
One
because
one
it's over.
one of the things that we like to, especially early on in the first couple of seasons, we would mention that, yeah, this is definitely an episode where if you don't know what's going on and haven't been watching, then you have no idea what's going on and you're going to be totally lost. So it's like that, because unlike where most Star Trek Next Generation episodes are, are very close,
Episodic.
episodic. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
There's sometimes arcs,
Sure.
but in this,
Right.
Off grid
it's
here? I
all
didn't see him come
arcs.
in. Hey, what's up, off grid?
Yeah. All right.
Can you hear the
Off
voice
grids with
singing?
me. Never got into it.
Yeah, that's no, that's all right.
Someday,
I didn't
maybe
either.
someday. I don't know.
I didn't either, man.
We'll
You
see.
know what? You know when it came, damn show came out, 94, 95. I was living large in Vegas, man. I was 21 and
Yeah,
chasing, the Keno runners and cocktail waitresses in Vegas, man. That was my thing. So I get it. I get it.
yeah.
And
Sounds like he had more fun, doesn't it?
No, I don't think so.
you don't think I had more fun doing that?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, at some point, I plan on watching it, but until then, I'm just gonna break.
You're
Jeff's
just
balls
gonna
about
give
it.
yeah, you just give
I'm
me
just
shit
gonna give
about
him
it.
shit
I'm used to it, and
about Deep Space 5 and things like that.
Babylon 12 and
Battlestar 5 or whatever. Yeah. What's the? Yeah, Babylon 12, Deep
Yeah.
Space 5. Well, whatever. Yeah, whatever. One of those. So. No, we'll see. But for some reason, Jeff gets like everybody going on that, and like I don't know, and a lot of people are into it. And I don't know. I think you're all crazy, but
Well,
Because it's good.
I am still trying to find the role playing game version of it. There supposedly was one. I know there was one. There
I've
was.
heard that. I've heard
You
that
didn't
that,
see it
that
on-
legend as well.
It's not on eBay.
I'm very hesitant. I haven't bought anything off of eBay in 20 years.
I bought two things while we're sitting here.
I mean, yeah, there's
I
the
do have a problem.
D20 one that they made.
Was there a D20 version?
Yeah, Mongoose.
Mongoose made a. Really?
I
Wow. Okay.
Didn't they also do?
Because I would
Starship
turn around and
Troopers?
I would run it in Traveler anyways. But the thing is for,
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
there's
me,
there's a bunch of them. There's a second edition. There's
there's a combat game that I've got a couple of the books for, which is very like. I mean, it's got some of the ship plans and stuff like that, which is really cool.
there's a mongoose version of it.
No, I have to find.
yeah, that's
that.
the D20. That's the
Yeah.
one on the D20 license. Yeah,
Like I said, they're the same guys who did Starship Troopers, right?
I think so.
Where's the
Yeah, quite a
Canadian
bit
at? I'm
more.
smelling smoke.
And some of them aren't expensive either.
I smell smoke. Canada must be cinching up the neighborhood.
Yeah, Mongoose did Starship Troopers. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did do that. Yeah.
yeah. Mongoose it was very much like Modifius and Free League and everything. They like to snatch up IPs.
Did
You
they?
know, and
Who's
you know,
doing the new?
run it-
Are they also
run a
now
game,
doing
create
Traveler?
a game system around it, and then 2 years later abandon it.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
they're
a
doing
5e Traveler,
Traveler.
and that's
No. That's nothing to do with it. No, Mongoose has been doing Traveler,
Mongoose owns Traveler now.
and they
Yeah.
they have it now.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
right.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what he
anything
was asking. I know there's a Traveler 5e. I don't know if Mongoose has anything to do
that's
with it. I don't
they
even
they
know.
license the 5e out to a third party to
To
create.
somebody else. Yeah,
And
they're
this
gonna
is literally
use-
no one cares.
Yeah, they're no one cares,
I
but
mean,
yet
literally,
it did over $1 million too.
Riddle
So.
me
Yeah,
this,
but-
Batman.
Right.
Riddle me this, Batman. Wasn't the best thing about one of the best things about Traveler was that it wasn't freaking D&D rule based.
Yes.
Yes,
You know,
it's a
yes.
break.
You know,
It's
you-
a-
But
it's a
that's the-
break.
That's the whole thing, and that's why they're trying to do this whole thing now, because they figure they can get this, and now they can get all those people that like Traveler but hate D&D, and they can bring them back or whatever, or get them to buy more stuff.
I think it's
Like,
the
that's
other
the
way
whole-
around. I
that's
think
the
they're
whole thing.
I think they're going to get these people into 5e Traveler, and then all the classic and all the other Traveler fans are going to go, why don't you play the real version?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's usually what happens. But
Mhm.
Because
we'll
I mean, they're going to be using things like they're going to be using feats and stuff to emulate what is
yeah,
baked in natively. Into
you're
Traveler.
selling copies right now. I don't know why you're selling copies right now.
Selling copies of what?
You're selling never mind. I don't even want to say it because then I'll be selling copies.
Yeah,
The other guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It seems like the exact opposite, like of what you would want to do if you love Traveler. You would never want that, and if you don't know what Traveler is, you'll never know what it is by playing the new
The
one.
5e version.
Right?
I wouldn't
know
even call
that
it. I
person
wouldn't even
and
call it the
then-
new one because it's not even It's not using the same
Exactly,
rule set.
exactly.
It's just using the
It's going to
setting.
be so far removed, and there's nothing about the world of Traveler that's identifiable. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't like when they take a, because Traveler was the system. It was the setting, it was the system, it was the whole thing.
Yeah,
And when you
yeah.
take
There was no.
the setting and all of that, and then you look to, transfer it over to a different game system, and then that game system co-ops it, to the point where it's no longer recognizable to what it was, then, it's just it's usually not the better iteration is the newest one.
Yeah.
And that's the issue I have with it. There's a few exceptions to that, like, I think Mongoose Conan was probably better, or actually, GURPS Conan was better than TSR Conan. It came out afterwards. Then Mongoose was probably better than GURPS, and Modifius's Conan was probably better than the three previous. Um, I don't think the newest version is better than Modifius's version of Conan. I don't think the new the heroic signatures is better than the Modifius's 2D20 system.
Yeah.
For Conan, it wasn't better.
Well, you guys really should check out Untold Destiny. He's got the free what is it? Kind of the intro rules.
Oh, like the first level, yeah, type of thing. Yeah, the
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
rules or whatever
because
he
he
calls
hasn't
it. It's
finished
just
the whole
first
thing.
rule, first level only, or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we played it and we had a lot of fun. Even Sci-Fi Snob, who's not really into the traditional fantasy D&D. He's Canadian too. Well, maybe it's a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian thing. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
but but
He's got dungeons in that book too, so I know another Canadian's not going to like it. Oh, look, you're back, Jeff. You came
Aren't
back.
they the same thing still back?
Oh boy.
Wait, are you talking about
No,
Traveler 5e?
No. We're not talking about Traveler 5e. We're talking about Traveler built on the D&D 5e structure, and they're calling it Traveler 5e. It's not actually the 5th edition of Traveler,
Right.
which I believe already exists, but they don't call it that.
Right.
I don't know.
Here,
I
I'll
think
Okay, I mean,
the
Traveler's
newest
been around
Traveler
so
is, I
many times.
believe, the 4th edition.
here. I dropped the
Okay.
link in the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for what do you call
Evergreen
it?
Days,
Dean's one of my buddies.
Yeah.
He was with me when we interviewed Professor DM, and actually he's going to be doing a recorded interview, doing a kind of a deep dive into mechanics. Dean loves mechanics.
Yeah.
That's his forte. So
It looks cool, and I mean, I hope he does really well, at it. I mean, but
Yeah.
to Bear's credit or whatever, and all I was saying earlier is, it's not another D20 compatible system or whatever, so you won't have all those people, you know what I mean, just jumping on it to back it, because that's what seems like what happens,
for Dean's system, it's not another
right.
5e clone.
Right, exactly.
It's its own unique thing.
And I wish him well, and hopefully one of these systems will break through and actually make it.
More is better.
We'll see.
And I am kind of I am feeling that inclination that maybe there's enough systems out there and people need to be focused more on creating new settings and new modules. We need to get back to making modules, not these big
there's no money. There's no money in modules. That's the problem. There's money in player content because for every one module that you would sell, you could sell 6 of those if it was player content.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
what
I'm
not saying I agree with that. Yeah, but that's why WotC's doing it, because it makes money. And that's why a lot of things that's why you're seeing player options in even GM supplements that other companies and stuff are putting out.
That drives me insane.
But that's why they're doing it. They're doing it because now every player needs a copy, and they sell 6 times the number of copies.
And you know
why
what
wouldn't you do that?
What? Yeah,
you want to sell 6 times the number of books or not?
And then
I
if
mean,
you're a
that's,
DM
you know,
that's starting out and you buy that book and all your players bought the book too, what's what's to stop them?
right.
Yeah, they're just
I
going to
get
root
it,
it for
Jeff. I
themselves.
get it
But
100%. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm just saying that's the follow the money, and
Mhm.
you'll find out a lot of things.
It just makes fiscal
Bottom
sense
line
to
is
do.
that the hobby is built
Yeah.
around the idea of once you've bought the core rule books, you're pretty much set for a near lifetime.
yeah,
And
Sure.
Right. Who's
Well,
that? Who's that guy?
nature
right.
of the
Smart.
hobby. And if you want to continue making money in it, yeah, maybe once every 7 or 8 years, you might come out with a revised edition of it. But for the
include the
most part,
errata and
it's through
Yeah.
supplements that
Chris,
you're going
why would
to.
they want to? Why would they want to? They're dishonest. This
Yeah.
company. Why would they want to get away from that? If somebody buys their book on accident, they're like, yes. You
well,
know
Yeah.
what I
Right.
mean?
and now they're pushing this digital walled garden, and the
Mhm.
latest news I'm hearing is Paizo's jumping on that too. Did you hear about that thing where they
Yeah.
pushed they pulled
Yeah.
their
Right.
license from AON,
Yeah.
which
That's what
everybody
they're doing.
thought AON
Well,
was
they didn't.
run by Paizo, and apparently it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
They didn't really pull.
But now,
Well, yeah,
Yeah, they did.
the
July
license
26th.
the license disappeared, but they're still using. There's a they changed the license. I don't know the whole thing, but I think they're still going to continue on like a different license or a free license or something like that.
right. You know what I've noticed
It didn't get
a
completely
recent
pulled.
change is that Roll20 has purged all of the older edition character sheets for D&D. You can still get Beckme, that's it. You cannot get a BX character sheet anymore, and the Beckme one is outdated on top of that. But you
Did
can
they take
only
off
get 5e.
all
There's
the?
no AD&D character sheet on there anymore. You can't get any of those anymore.
Can you
They
still get the hardcover AD&D books?
No, I'm not talking about the hardcover. I'm talking about on Roll20, you can no longer get the character sheets that are pre-set up when you look for a character sheet to attach to your game
Really?
session. You can no longer get most of the older D&D edition
I
character
agree.
sheets. They're all gone.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
guys, Agile
you missed this
Agile
one,
wanted to
Agile.
jump in.
Yeah, send him the
Yeah,
link.
and he wanted to jump in and show off his book, but we were ranting about some stuff.
Mhm.
But I got to drop. I got to hang out with my daughter for a little bit before I turn in. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Always a pleasure, man.
Good to see you,
What was
Shadow.
that? What
And
was your middle, Agile?
Jeff, we'll whatever.
You'll give me
No,
shit
Jeff,
later.
it's
Yeah,
good to
we'll
see you.
give
I'll
shit
give you
each
shit
other.
later.
Yeah.
Message me and ask me about the thing that we talked about earlier that I said I wouldn't say on air. And if you remember, and then okay, well, ping me, and if I remember, I'll tell you. And
You want me
Hush,
to
hush,
ping you?
top secret
we'll go
squirrel
from there.
shit. Huh?
Top secret squirrel shit. I don't want to dox anybody on the internet.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
wanna get
Okay,
doxed.
now I remember. Thanks.
So,
Yep.
So that's all. I just don't
Yep,
want to
yep.
say locations and
Yep.
stuff.
Nope, I got you.
I know where you live, Shadow. I don't want to broadcast that. I don't want to broadcast that you're in California to anybody.
No,
somebody will start looking.
we definitely don't want to let anybody know that you're in Cali.
Well, but no, I gotta
I
drop.
tried so hard to never say that I'm from California on camera for all these years.
Yep. You've
And I
never
just-
mentioned
I
that you've
just
hung
did it.
out with all these cool
Oh, no.
bands and done all this cool shit. Nope, you've never said any of that before.
But
I almost
but no.
half believed you when you said Susie and the Banshees. She wrote a song for you. And
No,
then
but I
I'm like,
used to hang out with
I
Elvira.
believed him. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
all right,
What's
guys.
the pre-gens? I'm sorry, Agile. What did I miss?
He wants to jump on and share stuff from his book.
Send him the
Oh,
link.
where is he? I didn't.
Oh, here,
I didn't see
I'll
the
I'll send him the link. I'll send him the link.
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
didn't
Chris
see the
Cole?
link.
Yeah, I'll send him the link.
Or the
I know you
request.
here. There you go. Check your Discord, Agile.
Or I'll do it here. I'll do a guest invite.
I
here.
mean, he.
Okay,
you'll get it.
that's risky, man. You know what happened to me.
Yeah, I don't post my link to join on my stream in my chat.
Oh no, but then you can't get the crazies.
Do you want the crazies?
I've only gotten one. Not the pre-gens, was also about changes that you can and can't get
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Come on in.
Yeah,
The
jump
water's
right
fine.
in.
The water's fine. I don't even know if at,
Yeah, there we go. All right. Hey, Agile.
What's up, man?
Hello. Hello, gentlemen.
friend.
I
All
just
right.
feel bad. I feel like Rogers doesn't love me anymore, man. He just left. He just bolted
He
on me.
bailed.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, you scared him off,
Yeah, I
man.
know. It's just like, wow, geez. I was doing this. This was all for Roger. I
Hmm.
mean, that was the whole point. I mean, geez, right?
That's okay. That's all right, because you know how Roger is. He gets, his panties get a little too tight or something. He's got to go. You know, he's not here to defend himself, so I give him shit.
Isn't it more
I
fun to
know.
do it in person?
Oh, now we got him twice.
Hold on. I'll fix
I see.
that.
I
That's
see.
my
Got
fault.
him
You're looking to
there
share.
we go.
Got it. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Sorry, 1 second here. Let me just kill this other problem here. Okay, now you should hear me okay, right?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
can hear you
Yep.
fine.
No echo, no anything else. Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to get on and say hello, but I just thought I'm not supposed to do this, but you guys are like so. I mean,
Hmm.
Roger and Jeff and Rich have been my friends for a long, long time, and nothing against you, Shadow.
Sorry
I
to hear
like your
that.
stuff and all that, but I just thought, hey, maybe I can give them an early look at something, and when no one else sees it. But this is some of the Zendria stuff in the World Book, just to give a little bit of the look of it. Um, that might show you here. Just to give you a little look at some of the look and feel of all of it.
I like that.
How does it is it looking? Is it big enough for you guys
Yeah,
over there? I
just
don't.
Yeah.
just close the left one where it says AI tools. Click the little X on that.
Oh, that's not
There
AI
you go.
tools.
Yeah,
That's all tools. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
use
I know,
AI.
but that's with the
Uh,
big words where I know you don't.
yeah. We don't.
That's just Acrobat
I'm a
Reader.
massive hater of, yeah. So everyone knows that.
There you
Let me
go.
bring it up a little bit bigger.
I
How's
love
that?
the art in
There
this.
you go.
I mean, the art is just
Yeah,
top
you've
notch.
It's
got you've
nice.
got some top artists in
Yep.
there.
It's very reminiscent of a couple of things that I'm very fond of.
Me
It's got a
too.
very comic book style,
That's
so
right.
that's cool.
Yep. It goes way back because I started in '74. So a lot of the concepts here are a mix of that old with new, because that's exactly
Like
right.
like Kazar and
Yep.
the Red Sonja comic books and
Yep.
things like that.
Exactly. Yep. And I was a big Frazetta fan, and and his granddaughter, she's really cool. But
Do
yeah,
you
so
remember? Do you remember? And don't take this the wrong way. Do you remember Might and Magic on the
yeah,
Sega Master System?
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
never played it on a Sega. I
Might
never.
Might and Magic.
The only
That's
You
funny.
console I had.
remember the little book that came with it?
Yeah, I remember that book.
I love that artwork. I wish I
Yeah.
still had that book just for that. It reminded me of that, even though what you're showing us is way more complicated, more in detail. But there maybe it's the
Yeah.
color palette or something. But I just freaking loved that style. That whole game was freaking
Oh
awesome. It
yeah.
was
Mm.
one of the most
For
fun
for
video games I ever played.
for its time, it was just over the top cool.
I played it a couple of years ago. It's still fun.
And,
It's awful in the way of graphics compared to the modern era, but you know what? It still does things no other game has the balls to do today.
well, one of the things I'll show you real quick, just some of the stuff here. But this is something no one's had a look at. I'm just gonna move over to it. Here's
That
just
dragon
looking
was
at some
pretty
of the
spiffy.
some of the chapter artwork. This is kind of the gods and deities and the mythos creation story, but good and evil because of the cover of the book. But you can, all the protector deities versus the destroyer deities. But there's really great artwork for all of them. I mean, giving you a look at what they typically show up for in the world, when they show up in the world, what they show up like and what their look is. And these are the different protectors. And this is Hanel Theos. He's the actual creator. Think of it sort of as because of the multiple worlds that I built and all that, Hanel Theos is the creator. So he's like the one true God type deal. That's why he's more of an entity here holding a world in his hand, while the rest of these are just deities, with that kind of look and the power of creation. And then when you look at, just the artwork is all just driven to these different looks and capabilities and what each one of these deities stands for. But it has a real nice look. And then we get into the destroyer deities. And so when you look at some of them, immediately they take on a different look. The goddess of undeath, the goddess of murder, tyranny and power, some of the look there. And Rostia, the goddess of disease, she's actually literally growing out fungus and mungus and mushrooms and stuff right on her and all that stuff. So it's
I think she used to live in the apartment next to mine.
now here is an amazing piece of artwork that I thought you guys would all like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You may or may not know. I'm working on talking about those very things on my show. So many people, when they do their pantheon, their mythos, whatever, you've got on one page right there that I'm looking at more than most people write on their entire pantheons.
Yes,
it's so paper thin, so flimsy, and I've been guilty of this too. But I mean, you would think, and I know most people, don't even care, but to me, it seems like all mythology starts with a creation story.
Yep.
So we should too.
Well,
even if scientifically proven to be a bad idea, I think we should still do it.
But here's the thing: what the whole point of these two books, and Rich knows this, and so does Jeff. But these are actually they're world building books too. The consortiums, which is all the organizations. Every bit of both of these books teach you how to do things and show you and give you a world you can either drop in somewhere on your own or you can drop into, and it actually explains how to do it, like setting up the passage of time and having a calendar with months and seasons.
Zendria is your setting that you've created, but you're actually, it's a teaching aid as well.
Yes, it's a teaching aid.
Yep. How you can create your own. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the it's one of the worlds that I've created, and so just to give you a look at some of the artwork there and the look and feel for the different species and look, and then of course we've got these giants and these dragons. Here's a part of the history here, but that's a pretty phenomenal dragon on the screen there if you look at it, and look at the people and the battle on both sides. I figure, Shadow, that's something you would probably look back, think your comic days again, and look at this one, and I think you'll see the power of that look.
Yeah.
Are you the artist as well?
No, I'm not the artist. One of my close friends is. Well, we have multiple artists, but the primary artist for this is Rick Hershey, someone who I've worked with and is a friend of mine, and he's a master level artist. He's worked for everybody and done stuff for pretty much everybody out there, but the difference is he's got a style when allowed to do it. That's a style I like. We mesh well on that. So what I do is I do all the art. I do all the art direction and concepts, and then I work with him to put it together. And then he turns my ideas into what is absolutely just amazing, artwork. So, but here's one thing I want to get into that I think you guys will like about the book. Obviously, there's some cool artwork here. You saw this artwork, but I want to move into, let's see, I'm going to move through some stuff real fast because most of them know we have these amazing maps, and you don't know, Shadow, but when you get the maps in the book, you also get all the maps digitally, and there's 30 key cities and towns, but you get 5 variations of them, so you can see them at different times of year and the like. But here's another example of some clever artwork, and then but here's something I want to show that no one has seen, because I purposely was hiding it. I'm going to get toward the back of the book now here. Okay.
Oh, wait, I got to be watching my screen now.
Yeah, you're going to want to watch your screen for this.
Okay.
So, and that is, remember what I said? I teach sandboxing and I teach West Marches. But the difference is I teach it from the old school 70s when I played with Gary, when I played with Arneson, when I played with Dave Hargrave, artists like that. And so I
Mhm.
teach old and new, and I teach Agile Monk's theory of chutes and ladders for sandboxes. But you look at the art here, you look at the power, you look at, hey, there's the GM up here controlling the sandbox. And so what's in this now is I teach hex crawls and I give examples and I actually tell a hex crawl story, and then I show an example of what a hex crawl would look like. And then I tell the story of, like B1, the Lich Grove, the Quiet River. Then I do another thing of that based on locations for a point crawl, showing you how you do a point crawl and the unique nature of that. And then how you do an urban sandbox, how you can actually build and run an urban sandbox based on one of the city maps we have. And then all of the different things that can go into it, explaining the urban areas, providing location tables, faction tables. And by the way, the faction tables are from the consortium's book. Go figure. The consortiums for your districts. What consortiums are in those districts in that urban location? And then here's one. I actually talk about what it means to do a mega dungeon. And for those who know Catheel's the big
Interesting that you show in the side cutaway. That's how
yeah,
I've always done my larger dungeons. I'll do the cutaway first, and then if I need to, I'll then do the levels as you need them. Because sometimes they'll go up one stairway and they're trying to get to the top, and they'll miss all
yep,
these levels over
yep.
here. Tonic Work style, kinda. Where there may be multiple separate levels on the same level, but they're
Yes.
not connected except from
But
the
but
lower
what's really
level.
cool about that cutout part, yes, they're not connected, but you have to get to another way. But when you see the Cathedral map, which these guys have seen, the Cathedral map's this big underground dwarven city. We actually have a map where the mountains are cut off, and you can look deep inside it, and it's phenomenally detailed. It's at 8,000K. Basically, it's an 8K level map for that. But here's an example where I explain what mega campaigns are: campaigns, adventures, quests, and how they all go to part of your world building. This is all stuff that we've kept secret, and we've explained it in here. And then finally, some West Marches stuff. And I'm being careful because if people are doing screenshots, they're going to steal the stuff. But there's
Mhm.
character connections. We talk about consortium connections, how characters get connected to the consortiums, the setting. Oh, and by the way, I teach all the methods of player connection sheet, campaign home base sheet, campaign home base generator, campaign building generation tables for everything, all the way through this. And then what we do is I teach all these here's a world event tracking sheet. Here's sample world events. Here's examples of how to do it. Here's tracking influence. Here's how you track the influence of factions and the impact. Here's an NPC chart and how to seed rumors. And then all this gives examples of how to do it and gives you the charts. And then for those who bought the book, you actually get a completely separate sampling where you get all the charts for download so you can just print them out and fill them out on your own. So you don't have to mess up
That's
your book.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
And then
We're
for
right up
those who,
your alley, dude.
and then for those for lastly, I want to share this piece of artwork. Look at this artwork. This is the index. And so this artwork for the index is, imagine everything you could possibly imagine in a world all showing up in this tavern. But with our index, one of the things I wanted to show that's really cool is the level of complexity in our index is everywhere that word is mentioned, whether it's Confederation, the Dark Age, you can click the page number and it will take you to all the places that's ever used. That's how level of
Nice.
detail
How
the index
how
is.
how do I click on my book though?
Well, okay, dude, don't make me slap the crud out of you. Then there's like, oh, you want to see a list of the tables? You want to see a list of the handouts? They're all called out there. And what's great is if it's the
Dork.
first time, or let's, for example, say, oh, I want to know the page where they mention Kaltra for the first time, it'll have a bold number. And so when you click it like I just did, it immediately takes you to it and lets you see it. Okay. So you can get right to it. So it's a very sophisticated digital product, but obviously the book is the paper product. But yeah, and it's like I said, here's some of the handouts. So as you can see, you get the handouts. These are all separately provided as part of our SRD
It's
book.
awesome.
So I think you guys are going to be more stoked because you never had a chance to see this stuff before. So I just thought, because you guys are good friends of mine, I'd give you guys a a first look at some of the amazingness. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate
Let
it.
us
Dude,
let us know
brother,
when it's
brother.
available for sale.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. You still got the
I think we
late
still have
order,
late pledges. Yeah, still
late
we still have
pledges.
late pledges, which by the way is the better way to do it because on the late pledges you will get it a lot cheaper than you will if you buy it after we sell it. So yeah.
I'll put the link up for the
Versus,
Kickstarter
hey,
now.
you had me confused there for a second. It's like, wait, it's better to buy it as a late pledge than to
No,
be
what I'm
No,
originally.
no,
saying
no,
is the no.
no.
What I'm saying is the Kickstarter was good. The late pledges are better, but if you go buy it like after we're all done and over with, you're going to buy it at the retail price. Is all I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Better,
yeah,
better
okay.
to get a late pledge than if you miss the
Yes.
Kickstarter,
Then
you're jump in on the late
retail.
pledge and then before
Yeah,
and save
okay.
on the
Here's the
retail.
link
Yeah.
for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, you have to send it to me on Discord, or
Okay,
I'll
I'll do it there as well.
But
Yep.
anyway, the point
appreciate it.
is that hopefully though, I hope that got because I really want, yeah, because Rich is doing work with us too, and Jeff. But I hope you guys were excited by that because
Oh yeah.
we kept Zendria a secret. We only showed the consortiums, so you'll literally be the only people to see it before it ends up going to print. So because it's literally we're doing final layout and design right now.
Yeah.
And for those of you who just who I work with, I personally work with who I think is one of the best layout designers in the market. He's also a Golden Any Award winner, but I work with Glenn Seal. So Glenn
Okay.
Seal and I did the design and concept for the layout and design, and he's just been phenomenal. So I mean, it's he's expensive, but he's worth every penny to get the best because of the level of detail. He'll give you what you want, where many won't. They don't go to that level. And you guys who know me know that I'm very much sometimes lost in the details.
Yeah. But that's
Um,
that's a good thing.
yeah. I mean, we all know the level of map work that I care about. The maps. So yeah, they're
oh yeah,
yeah,
and I love maps.
yes,
If you can't tell, I mean,
yeah.
you
Oh
saw
yeah,
what I
me
did.
too.
I
Me too.
made
I've
that
got.
frame. I couldn't find one
Same here.
that size, so I made my own. I went and bought the
Mhm.
materials at Home Depot and bought stain and all that stuff and cut the
What'd you
things.
do for the clear? Is that glass
That's
or
plexi. That's plexi. Yeah,
plexiglass?
you don't want plate glass that size.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh,
too
No,
dangerous.
no. I've
Uh,
had it before in my house, and I know that you don't want it, especially in earthquake land, living on the San Andreas fault line. Probably not a good idea. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm a big map fan too.
I had to go look and for the sheets that were completely because they've have a like a plastic laminate on either side of it that you peel away,
Yeah,
and trying to find a sheet that had it completely covered where it was fully protected from scratches and stuff like that.
yeah.
That was the big
Hard part.
that was the big challenge, and the sheets were like $65 or
oh, I
something like
bet.
that. It
Yeah,
was not cheap for the
Mhm.
plexi.
I bet.
Now let me show you what I got. This out of that sheet. Here, I'll go on the big camera. This is all I have left of that big sheet that's not on there.
Got it.
That's it. This is what's left. This is the scrap. So as you can see, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah,
But I had to.
yeah, I'm super big on maps. So I mean,
Now
you
I got to
guys
make
know.
another one for the
Yeah.
map that
Is
Jackie did the artwork on.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yep.
You'll love it. I'm drawing a map right now, but it's like, I mean, it looks like middle school because that's about my talent, But every art
That's
program
how
I've
all my
seen,
maps started out. That's I mean when I do that, and then I get my professional friends to make them go from what I
right,
did to make
right.
them look great. Yeah.
Every time I see like a digital map, it's like it either looks so realistic that it like completely pulls me out of the immersion of a fantasy world. Maybe it's the way I see the world, in my mind. or it looks like it's a video game, and that puts me in a completely different frame as well. Does that make any
Right.
sense?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely understand. Yep. Yep. I
when I
totally
look at the
understand.
Tolkien map, you know, maybe I'll picture what if I look at the Tolkien map, maybe my memories will be drawn to one of the cartoons or the Jackson movies,
Right.
but at least I'm always pulled in the right direction when I see game maps, except some of the ones Bloodworth shows in his games, because I can tell they're from the module,
Yeah.
and then when I can see they're like hand drawn, like some of the maps you showed us, Bloodworth, where you've done the fog of war, but it looks kind of primitive, but it looks like
Right.
it's out of the module, like that to me is way more fun than when they're like super like realistic or super detailed, with every little leaf on the tree drawn and that
Right.
shit. That it's too much. I know that nobody would draw that map. There's no way. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm playing a video game when I see that crap, not like I'm playing an RPG or I'm having to use my imagination to picture what it would be like in that world, because they've done so much of the work for me that I'm like, okay, I guess that's the way it
Yeah.
looks. Does that make any
Yeah.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I totally understand. Yep.
So I'm gonna still. Yeah, I use these. They're called Lord of Maps. They're these stamps for little area, like little
Oh
assets, like
yeah.
mountains
How
or
do you like
forests
those?
or or.
I've seen those. How do you like them?
I love them. I love
It,
them.
Hmm.
There's not a lot to choose from, but the style is perfect for what I want. It's got kind of that you know, uh, like what you could picture the best guy, the best mapper on your D&D world. That's the style he would use. You know what I mean? It's not the best style ever. It's like what you'd expect to see, and it's got a little bit of a charm to it. Like there's this one stamp where it's a whole bunch of little trees, but they're just a line with a little, you know, bubble on a stick, almost like a melted ice cream stick, popsicle. But they're all bunched together, and someone did just that much work, and then they went, "I'm not doing any more. Not doing any more trees. I did just one little clump of trees. You can just go stamp, 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 and it works. But the only thing, if you ever get those stamps, you got to do one thing when you use them. On the corners of every stamp, when you stamp it in the pad, you got to wipe those corners off. Otherwise, you will get this square frame around from the edge of the stamp. I don't know why,
Oh,
but it
interesting.
does that. Like you like, I'm gonna put the castle, but then there's these like triangles framing it,
Oh, okay.
around the
have you
stamp.
seen what?
You got to wipe the
Yeah.
flat
Have you
edges.
seen what the way that Rob Conley does his? Do you know who Rob Conley is?
I don't even know who he
Oh,
is.
okay. Well,
No.
I'll have to send you. I had him on my show. I need to get him on again too. He did a whole bunch of stuff. So he's really big on maps.
Stamps or
So he had like
something
these
else.
transfers, I think, that he uses, and so like they have, you have a license to use them, and you can, but
Do you guys remember the old Dungeons and Dragons rub-on stickers where you take the pencil and
Oh, yeah,
scratch,
absolutely. Yeah.
and rub on
Yep.
it, and then it would
Yep.
transfer?
Yeah. The transfers.
I still have a map. I still have a map from the '80s that's covered with not just those, but at the same time, like Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes were giving away the same kind of stickers for like jungle animals, forest animals, sea creatures. So my map is just covered with all those old
yeah,
transfers, and then I put like clear tape over them. The map is literally like 11 sheets of typing paper by 9 sheets of typing paper rolled up in this giant freaking almost 9 by 11 foot map. Really, really primitive, but my players loved it because I would like when they moved somewhere, I might draw the map and put it up,
Right.
while we were
right.
playing. It's like
Yep.
now you're in
You,
this
you,
area, and over the course of 20 years, it got bigger. I just started with one map. I was like, "What's over here? What's over here? What's over here?" But you got to go over there
That's
to find
right.
out. When you go over there, I'll start
Yeah.
dropping.
When you go over there, we'll all find out.
And oh, this shirt, frick yeah, I love this shirt. It's one of their best albums.
All right.
They just put some of your
Let's see.
younger
What are we
player.
doing on time? All right, it's
About
11.
five
Yeah,
to
it's almost
11.
11 o'clock. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, gentlemen, thank you so much for everyone popping in. I'm going to wrap this thing up soon. Agile, it's always great
Always
to
a
have
pleasure,
you
man.
on
Always a
and
pleasure.
show some more, show some more
Sneak
reveals
for those that are sticking
for
around.
Zendria and your consortium book and everything. I'm so excited to see that thing when it comes out. And, and I put the link in Shadow and Sun. Shadow, I put on the my Discord in the
Thank you.
general
Appreciate
chat.
that.
I put the link so you can find it there, and I put an announcement out to everybody on my Discord that you still have late pledges still open. So hopefully that will push you. Now does it Agile? Does it still continue showing the higher limit? Like if there's more late pledges coming on?
No. What happens is that what happens? There's only certain things available under late pledges.
Right, but
Right.
I'm saying it's
Yeah.
like it's still tallying up the new number now.
Oh yeah,
Like you're
the
back
problem is
above 42,
unfortunately though that number is
42,000. Yeah,
not real. If you saw what we wrote out about it,
Yeah.
which we'll be
yeah.
putting another update about it. But yes, yeah, but because we'll actually be sharing what really happened, the real truth, and all that. But which is unfortunate. But like I said, we're excited and I'm excited. I mean, I've been involved in helping a lot of people with their Kickstarters and products.
Mhm.
Been in the industry a long time, but this is the first time. This is my son and I, daughter-in-law and friends, people we know, pulling this great team together. For as after backing 423 Kickstarters and about 75 backer kits over all these years, this is the first one that we've done all on our own, cradle to grave, and it was definitely quite the learning experience. And we knew to expect fallout and drop off, but we were surprised. So, matter of fact, we're actually going to be doing an audit. We've been talking to Kickstarter because there were some anomalies. We found out a few other Kickstarters had some of these weird anomalies too, where people were messing with the ranges and putting stuff in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out, putting it in, putting a big number in, then deleting it at the last second to where then they weren't funded. It was just all crazy stuff. And we ended up we found out we had a few different, shall we say, less than ideal stellar people playing games in the system.
Oh,
And yeah, yes,
doing
Yeah,
that and
scamming
then
it,
and
like
then backing
yeah.
out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I reached out to one and said, hey, and got these lame excuses, but then some I just got patient with. One, we finally just had to block because it was just not, it's just people doing bad things, and I don't like that. I mean, we're about, good things, good people.
Well,
So
they've already taken my first payment, so
well, there you go. Yes. So
so I'm
but
already a third of the way in.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. But if you go out there, Shadow, you'll be able to see the video and the information. And the nice thing is
Okay.
that there's a right there on the very beginning page. Scroll down where it says Agile Monk Presents. You can download a sample. We actually gave a 36-page sample of the consortium's book.
Yeah.
You can actually read it and get a real good look at what it looks like. I mean, which people were blown away by it. They were just like, "That's amazing! No one gives that much information away." But we did. And then we've got a really great license too, because our license is built for creators. So you can take anything from the world or consortium's book and go create your own stuff with it and just give us attribution, but you can go make your own money with it because we just want to help. We're a veteran owned business working with nothing but veteran owned businesses, doing all made in America. And we support a lot of
That's
PTSD
awesome.
and disabled veterans. So, yeah. Because my son is a disabled veteran. Rich knows this. I mean, we're all in the veteran community. So yeah.
Yeah. And man, I
And
I
thank you
was I
guys for your
was
service.
I was so hoping to be able to take him up there to CNY, but
I know. I
I
wanted you
understand.
to. Yeah, I wanted you to as well. I was bummed about that. I was like, Michael, you should go, man.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
he had a good excuse. You know,
No,
he's
he
doing his
did.
PhD, his
Yeah, he's
doctorate.
well, and the school and the program's been messing around with him, and he had a bunch of extra hoops and things to jump through, and it was getting frustrating. So I completely understood. I said, "Oh,
Yeah,
I get it," but I just told him, I said, "Next time," I said, "I think you love it because those guys are really cool guys." So,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. Well, hey, we can. There's next year, man. You know, my
yep.
wife and I are already planning on going. So, you
Well,
know,
I just want to say thank you again, Rich. You're always have been so good to us, and Jeff, you too. And Shadow, it's good to meet you in pseudo in person now. I've watched your stuff, which
Yeah,
is
yeah. One
great.
of these days I get to see what you look like, so
Yeah,
I can
yep.
put a name to
So
the face.
yeah, it has to do with my in real life job that I
yeah.
can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
When are you
so
Don't
that's
don't
why.
worry
retiring,
about it,
man?
dude.
You need to
Be like
retire
this.
from that.
Oh, trust me, trust me with what's. Don't I don't want to say,
I
but
know.
I'm seriously looking at a way out because it's gotten yeah. So
Yeah.
but yep, but so really happy and just it's an honor and privilege that you let me get on tonight and share a little bit
Always,
because
always. You're always
I
welcome.
I just I I'm just I'm a spaz about this stuff, so I just love it because it saved my life. It saved other people's lives. I mean, this hobby. Like I said, I started some before. It's been a huge part of my entire existence. So, yep,
I think we can all say
gotta
the
love
same
it.
thing. Uh, where I
Oh
was when
yeah.
I discovered it, you know, I'd have been a totally different person. You know, I'm not going to go all J. Scott Garraby, but uh, it's there's a lot of hidden stuff in this hobby of ours that most people take for granted. But
You know,
Yep,
there's some like real magic almost. Yeah, I
that's
don't.
right.
My wife doesn't even know. So
Yeah.
Nice.
you guys laugh.
That's a
Um,
good one.
but one of these
Oh,
days, we're gonna have to have you on the show, Agile.
I'd love
Uh,
to. Love to.
Yeah, and we got to have you come back, man.
Yep, I
You
know. I
you
know. We got to do that because I definitely
I
want to do
I
that.
might message you about something.
Oh,
well,
cool. Please
We'll,
that'll
do.
be agile. The release is still looking around
Yeah,
November-ish,
no,
right?
yeah, we're doing real good. So I'm not supposed to say this, but we have to lock down with printers and queue everything. We spent months doing that, but the good news is we're in the final layout. We'll be finishing up. Then we have a meetup in August with just like we talked about with the printers.
Mhm.
Uh, in the middle August, we finalize everything between lit design and printers, and then basically, technically, everything goes over to print production on the 17th of August, which means, and based on the timing, we're hoping to get them out.
1 month.
You know,
That's 1 month, right?
yeah, I know. I mean, we're really doing. I mean, our best considering we just launched it. So we're yeah, and so we're locking it all down, and we're happy about that because our goal was, we said December, but we're hoping that the sooner we get it out, the better. Because the one thing we said at the beginning was we didn't come out and say give us money, we'll go write something. No, we spent 2.5 years. I mean, building this because what you don't know, Shadow, is the maps we did alone. Each one of the city town maps
mhm.
took multiple weeks to do, and we have up, so imagine times 30 and then 5 versions of all that. So that and all the artwork, everything, all took a tremendous amount of time. The writing energy, the level of editing. I mean, it was so funny because I was talking with Steve Chenault today
Mm.
on some of our stuff, and he was like, because we've done the spell cards we're doing for him. Rich knows he helped us with it. So but we are talking about something else and how he really likes the quality of our work because he and Davis, when they were reading some of the consortium's book, they said, man, you guys have really good editing and
Has, agile, has that been announced yet? The spell cards?
uh
Yeah.
it's been announced, but
Okay.
it's still, it's in alpha for them, as you know, the book itself. But
Okay.
yeah, and we have this in the spell
Because I
cards.
wasn't sure if we're even supposed to mention
Yeah, I
it
know, I
yet or
know. No,
not.
we're allowed to say it now, but
Oh, okay.
but there's still a couple things that have to be done that we're waiting on from them, and then they'll be locked down. But for all intents and purposes, we the new artwork, everything's they look great, and Davis and Steve are just like stoked, so they really liked it. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
yep, yeah.
Yeah. So
Michael and
I
Eli,
can finally
everyone did a
tell the
great job.
people
Yeah, I know,
what I worked on.
Yep,
So
I know. So
yeah.
yep, but now that they've got the alpha out there that they put out there on BackerKit, so
Cool.
talking about it. So yep. So anyway, yeah. Well, I know you guys need to leave, and I've got to get some things done too. So
All right, you all have a great one, everyone. Thanks for following along, and to everybody in the chat, great to see you all, and you all have a great weekend coming up. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention sometime soon. And to the guys here on the in the panel, thanks a lot. Great conversation and everything. Talking about world building and then everything else that came folded in
yeah.
as it usually does. Yeah.
And what's nice is you ended on showing some world built, a built world.
Yes. Yeah. A built world and some world building, and then we started talking about writing adventures for new worlds, which
And
is
thanks to everyone,
the
poor orc
world
child.
building as well.
Yeah, thanks to poor orc child, Steven, you guys, and RPG Grandma. All you people are just awesome. I love
They
this
are.
community, and I feel so blessed. So just love and blessings to all of you, and thanks for giving, Off Grid Gamer. Thanks for allowing us to share this, because if it weren't for you folks, I'd just be talking to a wall.
All right.
Well, yeah, we've got our the Bad News Bards is gonna be on at 9 p.m. on my channel this Sunday. No special guest per se. We're gonna be talking some
Well, you
some
guys
tech
are all
stuff.
kind of special.
Well, yeah, special.
Yeah.
um, but following week we've got Alan Hammock coming on. So
At
Oh,
7 o'clock,
he's awesome.
I'm going to have Todd
Ritzema,
Ritzema
yep,
from
Ritzema.
Blackwall on.
He's a good guy. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
Hey,
Is this
well,
on?
let's
Is this
well,
on
John,
Sunday?
thank you so
well,
much
let's
for
end this
that
call.
as well. So there he
Let's end
goes.
this call. Let's end this call with getting some new members on this site. So yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Let's see. So these people here, Ironcaster, congratulations. Thanks
Haven't seen
to
him in forever.
Agile Monk and Robert Martino. Uh, congratulations. And let's see, Ord Mostrom, Lutzicron, Louisicron. And that's it. I've
I'm
been
at
dispatching this summer. Nice.
I'm at 299 right now. I'm at 299 subscribers.
I
Really?
know we got to get that
Well,
done.
that's
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm nowhere near that. So
Hey,
you're far beyond me.
You're nowhere near 290. You're over that, man.
You know who?
Subscribers. So I was thinking of members.
Oh no.
Rich,
Well,
you know who?
subs, yeah.
The Chris Moneymaker, the guy in the community who's doing
Yep.
DarkCon. Boy, we need to do some shout out for him, because he's trying to get this stuff done, and it's just going up and down on his Kickstarter. We got to see what we can do to help get that convention
Oh, yeah.
to go. So
I had him on. I had him on a couple weeks ago when he first launched it.
yeah,
And yeah, I'll have him on again to
I-
to kick it off a little bit
I
more.
bought some veterans passes for him to give out. He's working with his old unit and a couple other places at the VA to give some away, but we got to figure out how to make that number for him. It's only $6,000.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. He's got to be able to cover the venue.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was fully upfront about the expense there. So he's honest to a T, kind of like you, Agile. So
Yep.
Um,
Tell it like it is. It's not about being right. It's about doing what's right.
yeah.
Right.
But at any rate, yeah. So hopefully I'll get some more subs. Shadow and Sun, you always need more subs. Agile, you're always welcome on my channel. You know
Yep.
that. Rich, you're welcome too. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
you on again soon. Yeah.
Yeah. I will catch you. I'll catch you Sunday night.
All right.
All right.
See
Take
you
care,
guys.
everybody.
You'll
Everybody.
have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Bye.